You're listening to CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the CSU Pueblo Thunder Bowl for tonight's non-conference ball game as the Thunderwolves play host to the Falcons of the University of Texas Permian Basin. First time these two teams have ever hooked up in football. Permian Basin is the defending Lone Star Conference champion. They're 1-0 coming into today's ball game, a 41-3 victory last weekend over Western New Mexico. Thunderwolves, of course, their first win of the year was a week ago Thursday when they went up to Rapid City and knocked off South Dakota Mines. That one was 35-6. We look forward to a good one here tonight, Joe.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. People have been asking us what we think about tonight's contest, and we've never seen Permian Basin, so we don't know. We've seen a lot of Lone Star teams and a lot of Lone Star games, and Permian Basin's never been in the conversation. Tonight they're here. We know they're big. We know they're 1-0. We know they have a talented quarterback. We know they have a monster receiver, and we know they get after it defensively. Scouting reports on Permian Basin are simply two words: they're good. I think the same scouting report would be used to be CSU Pueblo. We're just going to see who's better good tonight.
Exactly. You watch this Permian Basin ball club, and Joe mentioned they're big. You just look at them just going through their drills down here. Their defensive front, the front three, mammoth. They're all pushing 300 pounds, maybe a couple of them over that note, and their tackles are big, too, on the offensive side of the ball. So they want to come in. They want to be very physical. I think key to the game would be the Thunderwolves to speed them up a little bit, get them sucking air here in this high altitude.
Well, you hope the altitude plays a factor in this game. Again, they're big and strong, but they're also here for a reason. We say that about everybody. So I think this is going to be a really good matchup. Permian Basin won the Lone Star last year. They lost a lot of players off that team. Second-year head coach with a really young staff. Phil Vigil, second-year head coach with a really young staff at CSU Pueblo. There's a lot of similarities between these two teams. Watch number 1 for Permian Basin, Jeremiah Cooley, a receiver. Watch number 1 for CSU Pueblo, Reggie Retzlaff. They're almost carbon copies of each other, and they both wear number 1, and I think they could put on a show tonight.
And their quarterback, Dylan Graham, he was 31 for 50 last week. And, of course, for the Thunderwolves, Larson, 30 for 45. And then the backup came in, of course, 5 for 5. So both teams had very successful days last week through the air.
And I guarantee you, if you talk to both coaches, they do not want to throw the ball 50 times tonight. I know Phil Vigil doesn't. Sometimes it's dictated that way, but we didn't see much of a running game last week, and I know that's a point of emphasis this week for CSU Pueblo.
And for Permian Basin, their running back, Camden Tyler, he's a decent one along with Corey Harris. Harris had 21 carries for 82 yards, but they, too, the running game really kind of shut down, but as Phil is quick to point out, sometimes defense, and you've already pointed out too, dictates what you're going to want to do. I think both these teams want to come out and run the ball a little bit more here and set the tempo that way.
Without question, last week, South Dakota Mines had 9 in the box. CSU Pueblo exploited their corners and threw the ball all over the yard. Tonight, Permian Basin plays a 3-4, 3-5 defense, 3 down linemen, and against a formation like that, you have to run the football to be successful offensively.
All right, we'll come back after this timeout. We'll talk to Phil Vigil, the head coach of the Thunderwolves. That'll come your way next. Thunderwolves pregame show on Fox Sports Pueblo. And welcome back to the Thunderwolves pregame show. And joining me now, head coach Phil Vigil. Phil, you got one in the books.
Yes, sir. One in the books, and one more today. And excited to open this thing up at home and show Pueblo what the kind of team we got this year.
And before we talk about this high-powered opponent coming in, you acquitted yourselves quite well last Thursday.
Yeah, I'm proud of the way the team battled on Thursday night against South Dakota Mines. You know, it was the first time in Division II history we got an opportunity to play week 0. We got an opportunity to do that against an RMAC opponent, and obviously when you're playing an RMAC opponent, it means a lot. And if we want to win a conference championship, we got to make sure that we're taking care of business against guys in the RMAC. And so, obviously there were some first game mistakes that we had to work through as the game went on, but ultimately really proud of the way our offense, defense, and special teams handled Thursday night.
Well, you never really know going into a ball game, but I'm sure there were some areas you were pleasantly surprised, and then other areas you might think, man, we need a little work there.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I thought defense played phenomenal all game long. I mean, to hold that offense to 6 points, and really the only time they got those points was when they were at a short field. And I thought they battled all night. It was awesome to watch them fly around and make plays. Offensively, it took us a little bit to get into our rhythm. Drove down right off the bat. ended up missing that field goal, missed another field goal, threw a pick in the end zone. Really, we went into halftime at 14-3, and it could have been 27-3 or, even more. And so obviously there's things that we need to clean up and fix, but ultimately, Coach Brown, our offensive coordinator, did a great job of putting our guys in a great position to go make plays. And, Devin had a great showing as a first-time starter here, and those guys on the edge made him look pretty good.
Well, you gave up some opportunities there, but at the same time, you got to feel proud of your ball club for battling through the adversity and still doing what they did in that first half to go into the locker room with lead. Many teams might have found themselves behind the 8 ball. Yeah,
and again, it's just, next play mentality, and that's something that we talk about a lot is forgetting the last play, and no matter what that was. And it's a lot easier to say that than it is to actually do that. And that's not just after a bad play, it's after a good play too. You've got to be able to understand that, I've got to do my job every single play regardless of what happened last play. And so they showed a lot of resolve last week, and I was proud of them.
Well, you got a Permian Basin team coming in here, a new opponent, somebody we've never seen before here at CSU Pueblo, but you kind of know a little bit about them, being from the Lone Star at times in your career, and they're going to bring a little different element here to the ballpark, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a very good team, very talented. I think in the 2 different polls I've seen, they're 21st in the country, and then the other one they're 15th in the country, and came off a 10-2 record last year, made the playoffs, won the Lone Star Conference. They're very talented. They're very athletic. They're very big, and so it's going to be a good challenge for us today.
Well, with your emphasis on recruiting more Texas kids, I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of the guys they have on their squad.
Well, we're going to recruit Colorado first, and that's where we're always going to make sure that we're in Colorado, and we're going to take care of Colorado kids first. But we're going to go find everybody else from every other state that we possibly can that can come and help us win football games and add to our culture. And so we definitely, I'd be lying to you if I told you that we don't go head-to-head in recruiting quite a bit. This is the first time we're going to go head-to-head on the football field, but we've gone head-to-head quite a few times over some players, and some we've won, some we've lost, and that's recruiting for you. But there's definitely some crossover from that standpoint.
Well, look at their ball club. Looked like they had kind of a similar ball game that you had. Their quarterback goes 31 for 50, throws 4 touchdowns, had a couple of receivers catch 8 balls, so kind of a mirror image in some respects.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they have a high-powered offense, and their defense was able to smother Western New Mexico last weekend, and they did a really good job on both sides of the ball. Defensively, they really controlled the front with those big 3 guys they had up front, and really just controlled the game and allowed them to drop 8 in the back end. And I don't know if that's what they're going to do today. That's what we're planning for. If they come out in something different, we've been planning for that too, and so we'll see what happens. But offensively, again, just like you mentioned, they've got some weapons. Quarterback is a guy that has started a lot of games in the Lone Star Conference, even though he wasn't their starter last year. He was their starter in 2022, and did a good job on Thursday night last week and or Saturday, whenever they played. And their receivers are big, they're tall, they can run, they're athletic. They've got a tailback that's a stud. They've got some playmakers.
Well, we kind of talked about it on your show. You might think this might be a high-powered offensive ball game with both teams scoring big numbers, putting up numbers, but you kind of expect something a little different, don't you?
I do. I just have this feeling that it's going to be, when you have a really good offense and really good defense, a lot of times the defense wins. And I think both of us have really good defenses. And so I think we're going to have to maximize our opportunities on offense, and we're going to have to find ways to when we take those calculated shots, hit them and go. And we've got to be okay with taking the little dink and dunk and getting the first down and moving the chains and trying to wear these guys out. They're coming down. They're coming up from Texas, and they're going to be playing at altitude. And I know how we train. I know how we practice. We're going to play fast. We're going to practice fast, and we're going to tempo these guys today. So we'll see if we can wear them out.
Oh, we saw a little bit of that in Thursday's game. You got up there on the line quick and caught them off guard a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, it's a replication of what we do in practice. We have a drill called lightning drill, and it's awesome as a head coach because you're walking up and down the sideline against South Dakota Mines, and the team's like, they're tired, they don't know about that lightning drill, and so that's how that it's stuck, and that's, again, we want to play fast. We want to play fast on both sides of the ball, and when you're able to operate when the bullets are flying and things are moving quickly, that's how you know you're doing the right thing. So.
And to wrap things up, home opener is always an exciting moment.
Oh man, it's so good to be back in the Thunder Bowl. It's so good to be back home. And I know the crowd is going to be awesome. I know the fans are excited. There's a lot of excitement this year for this team, and it's going to be awesome. We're excited.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thunderbolts head coach Phil Vigil back with more of our pregame show right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
You're listening to CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
And welcome back to the Thunderbolt. As we wind our way toward kickoff, the band's starting to filter out onto the field here. A little bit more about today's ball game, Joe. The both teams' high-powered passing attacks struggled perhaps a little bit running the ball. Defenses were very strong. I mean, it's uncanny how similar their first two ball games were.
It carbon copies, and that's a good thing if you're CSU Pueblo, so you know what to look for. And most teams and most coaches, they love the iron sharpens iron. You know, we talked to Keith McCaney, defensive back, this week on the coaches show, and he talked about going against Reggie and Toskis and going against a great receiving core, and that's going to bode well for him tonight and the CSU Pueblo secondary. But this is like the CSU Pueblo teams in the past, Jim, where they lean on that defense early. Yeah, they want that defense to make plays, shut down Permian Basin, and let the offense be efficient as they can be.
Well, the thing that stands out about their ball club is some of the things that stand out about CSU Pueblo on the receiving court. Both their wide receivers, big, tall guys that can go up and get the ball. Now, we talked to Keith McCaney, who was a guest on our show, and he goes, that's all right. We just take it as another challenge. I liked his confidence.
Yeah, it was. He didn't even say the challenge. His word all week. And it seems like that's the how they're coaching them up here at CSU Pueblo is opportunity.
Right.
Everything's an opportunity. You want to go against these great receivers. That's an opportunity to prove how good you are, to prove how strong your defense is, to prove how well you're coached up, to prove what kind of resolve you have. So they look at everything as an opportunity. And when you look at it positively like that and use positivity as your guide, good things happen.
All right, we'll come back after this timeout. Joe will give you the keys to victory for today's ball game, and it all comes your way next, all part of the Thunderwolves pregame show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
You are listening to CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
And welcome back to the Thunderbolt. Well, they want everybody to get up and dance, Joe. Well, we'll let the fans do that down there. They don't want to come up here and look up here.
We're dancing in our seats.
Exactly. Well, Joe, let's get to the keys to victory for this ball game. First, for the Thunderbolts, what do they have to do to win this game?
Okay, first and foremost, they have to run the football. You do not want to throw it 50 times. You got a bevy of running backs. You want to get that offensive line involved, so you have to run the football. Second of all, you have to take care of the football. CSU Pueblo offensively took care of the football. They one bad interception. Was it an interception last?
The fumble.
The fumble.
The phantom fumble.
The phantom fumble. But just take care of the football.
And the interception in the end zone.
Yeah,
yes.
and so it's CSU Pueblo just has to take care of CSU Pueblo. With new opponent, you never know what you're going to get.
For Texas Permian Basin, the Falcons, what do they have to do to roll in here and come away with a victory?
I think they need to keep it close early. I think that the altitude may get them. You go from sea level to almost 5,000 feet. It's a cool night. It's not the hot August nights or September nights we're used to. They say some weather might roll in, so you never know. But they got to keep it close early, and they cannot give CSU Pueblo extra possessions. We know what happens when CSU Pueblo gets extra possessions.
Exactly, and they tend to take advantage of it. And just expect a game. Sometimes conventional wisdom, you look at all these offensive numbers, think, well, we might have a shootout up and down the field. But I tend to agree with Phil Vigil. I think it's going to be kind of a slugfest, in particular early on. Might see a team break loose. I hearken back to a game that we did way back in the championship season when West Georgia came in here. I mean, you had two high-powered teams, and it ended up being a defensive
7-13.
Just slug the hell out of each other. And I think we have a kind of makings of that kind of matchup here.
Well, and I also like the fact that, and this is going way back, obviously, but anything can help, is Devin Larson has played against Permian Basin. In 2021 for Western New Mexico, he played against Permian Basin and threw for a couple of touchdowns. He didn't play in 22 or 23. He got hurt, but he knows what he's looking across. New coaches, and I get that, all that new stuff, but he's looked across and seen this color, this what they do. He's seen Permian Basin, so that may help him find a sense of calm as he starts to run the offense.
And in some ways, I think it's, for the Thunderwolves, it's kind of a little bit of familiarity when you're looking. They've played Midwestern State last couple of years. They beat them, a Lone Star team. They beat Commerce twice when they came in here. They're familiar with playing West Texas A&M, although it's been a few years. So there's not that fear of going up against a Lone Star team like you might have, say, when we got to take on Grand Valley, which is a different animal.
Exactly. When you first started this program, the Lone Star was the Lone Star. It was Texas.
Yeah.
But we've seen the Lone Star here and there. We've been on the road there. We've been to Dallas State, Texas Stadium. We've seen the Lone Star. They are no better than the best of the RMAC.
And we're hanging our hat on that one coming into this ball game. Getting closer to kickoff here. Looks like the Thunderwolves, the cheerleaders and dance team are starting to make their way down to the tunnel to welcome the Thunderwolves out. So we'll kind of keep it here. Maybe we'll catch that here in a little bit.
We always like to see who slow plays.
Yeah.
Phil tends to bring his team out just a little bit late, but we got the national anthem.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a timeout right here. We'll come back. We'll have the weather conditions. That all comes your way next. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
You are listening to CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
And welcome back to the Thunder Bowl. We give you the weather conditions for tonight's ball game. Right now, 86 degrees it'll be here at kickoff, but it's rapidly cooling off as the clouds start to roll in. That's the ultimate wild card tonight. Will it rain and when will it rain? They're saying 7 o'clock perhaps, 8 o'clock for sure, about 50% chance at 8 o'clock. So we'll just see, keep an eye on that all night. Winds 10 miles an hour, gusting to 15. They're out of the east, so we got the old upslope, Joe.
Yeah,
that means moisture's coming.
Yeah, you don't want it coming from the east.
And we'll just see. We just kind of notice there's a few clouds building to the northwest, and that's always the kiss of death for games in September at the Thunder Bowl when you're watching that way. So we'll just see how the conditions present themselves. And we're no stranger to weather delays here at the Thunder Bowl. We've had a couple of them in the past.
Well,
in evening games.
And I'll tell you right now, as a former sports editor of the Chieftain and a sports writer and a columnist, I don't mind it now. I hated it when I was on deadline.
Yeah.
I hated night games because it gave me less time to write. But now we got all night, Jim. We got lights.
That's right. And the mascot Rock has made his way out onto the field, handled by handler Mark. And they've run the length of the field. Thunderbolts now starting to come out of the field house into the tunnel. They'll be coming out here shortly. Come back, we'll have the starting lineups, the opening kickoff. It all comes your way next. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
You are listening to CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
And welcome back to the Thunder Bowl. Well, the honorary captain today, Joe, is somebody familiar with us. We had a nice chat with him before the ball game.
You know, I've been doing this a long time, and you form relationships with players, and there's just some that stick out more than others that you've kept up with through the times. And one of my favorite, if not my favorite all-time Thunderwolf, Jesse Lewis from Loveland. He came in and gave us both big. If you don't remember Jesse Lewis, he's the original guy here. He was the guy. This little guy from Loveland who was tougher than everybody, faster than everybody, and had a heart bigger than everybody.
Yeah, he just had some remarkable games, remarkable runs, just ones you remember for a lifetime. I can always remember the game down at Adams State when it was just a crazy atmosphere down there when they beat him. That was in their second year of existence. He had a great game then. The next year also some big runs here at the Thunder Bowl as well.
He just was that guy. He radiates personality. He's got a great heart. He's got a big heart. He's not very big. He never was, but he's my guy, and I was so happy to see him. See if he's a good luck charm.
Yeah, you can hear that feedback there. We apologize once again that they just have not been able to figure out how the hell to fix our referee mic to be able to put it on the air here. They just don't have anybody. You know, they don't have Scott Richards, Joe, the late Scott Richards, our old buddy from PCC.
Yeah.
They'd had this thing fixed, 2 years ago, but they still struggled with it, so we're without the referee mic, so they're doing the coin toss. The captain's out there at center field. Some of the captains for the Thunderwolves, Eli Pittman, along with Reggie Retzloff, is out there. I know
it's
that,
Domingo Prince. The second, Reggie Retzloff, Gary Seidenberger, and Eli Pittman.
Yeah.
And Permian won the toss and deferred, so CSU Pueblo will be getting the ball first.
All right, so we've got that taken care of. That business is settled. So the Thunderwolves will get the ball first on offense. We've been talking about the weather situation. I'm looking at the radar. It's probably about an hour away, if I had to guess, looking where the line of storms are. They're just north of Canyon City in a line toward Colorado Springs, moving at about 15 20 miles an hour toward Pueblo. So that tells you we got about an hour here, and hopefully they just keep on skirting. They're kind of moving from northwest to southeast, but the biggest cell is in a direct line for Pueblo. But we've seen it a lot of times, Joe. It's amazing what happens. They get to Lake Pueblo, and the things split, and half of it goes north, half of it goes south. That's what we're going to hope for.
We're the donut hole.
That's what
It
we're
just
hoping
goes
for
around
here.
us.
And we'll see if that is the case. But they do use the lightning detectors, too. If you have rain come in and it's just rain, then you're okay. The only thing you worry about is if there's electricity in it, and they have those detectors. And then if there is one, then you got to wait a minimum of a half hour. So it just begins in one of those waiting games. We just hope it doesn't come to that here tonight. Thunderwolves be moving left and right as we look at it. Back to receive the kick. Nigel Mitchell, one of the Thunderwolves back there. And, of course, it'll be Musa Alcifer. Kicking off, Rafael Vargas for the Permian Basin Falcons. First ever meeting between these two schools. Glad to have you along here tonight on Fox Sports Pueblo, wherever you're listening, whether it's on the radio, if it's on your phone, if it's on your iHeart app, on your computer. Welcome to the broadcast.
Visiting kickers gotta love coming here. Sea-level kickers come to the altitude.
And the breeze kind of coming across the field out of the east, so no real super advantage either way here. Blowing about 10 miles an hour. Not really a big factor like it was last week at kickoff. We don't have that problem. Ball's in the air. It's a long pooch kick. And that's going to be taken by the up man for the Thunderwolves. Coming back with it, Purcell puts his head down, and he's out to the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. Noah Purcell, no stranger to handling the football. They run him in some fullback positions, Joe, on offense, so he's not afraid to run the football.
Yeah, you'll see Noah Purcell as a linebacker, defensive end, fullback, tailback, and now kick returner. You know who else he lines up in the kicks? Scipio. Because he's got great hands as a linebacker.
They spot it right at the 30 on the left hash mark, and that's where the Thunderwolves will start. Of course, Devin Larson, 30 for 45 in last week's game, 5 touchdowns, 508 yards through the air, an all-time record for CSU Pueblo quarterback. Starting tailback is Howard Russell. He lines up on the right hip. We got trips to the right, single wide out left here. Only 3 up on the line of scrimmage here, kind of an umbrella defense. They're going to throw a wide receiver screen to Nigel, and he is taken down for a 1-yard loss. And, of course, for Joe and
yeah, ask me about that play.
Yeah, we're never a fan of the old wide receiver screen.
It is the worst play on offense for anybody.
Everybody runs it, too. Trips to the right, single wide out left again. Ball's on the right hash mark this time on 2nd and 11. Larson takes the snap, straight drop back, fires over the middle, caught by Retzlaff, 35, maybe the 36 before he's hauled down. Does get forward progress to the 36-yard line. Good strike there for 7. Sets up 3rd down and 4 for the Thunderwolves. They'll go hurry up right up on the line of scrimmage. Make some substitutions here as the tight end Dvorak comes into the game, along with Lucky. There's going to be a double tight end set this time for the Thunderwolves.
That 12 personnel with the 2 tight ends, they throw out of this as much as they run out of it.
Both tight ends line up on the left side of the formation. Now they shift to the right, unbalanced right. 2 wide receivers left. Take the snap. They fake the ball in the middle, straight drop back. Look down the middle, going for it all. A lot of hand fighting there, and a pass sails incomplete over everybody's head there. We're trying to get it deep down the field there to Toscas, and he was held up.
Hey, he looked at the back judge and said, hey, he had a handful of my jersey. But you know what? Rubbin's racing.
So 4th down. Thunderwolves go 3 and out here, have to punt the ball away. That means it'll be Reagan Baker. I believe. Let's see. They've had a battle at punter. Nope, looks like it's going to be Caleb Harner. He punts it away. Low end over end job. Hits at the 35. Takes a Thunderwolves bounce inside the 30. Inside the 25 and rolls dead at the 24-yard line. And that's where Permian Basin will start their first possession of the game.
Got a flag at the 30.
Yeah, way back upfield here.
Not the best of punts, but the result was okay.
Flag is behind the line of scrimmage here. They can take the penalty on the end of the punt or make them punt over here. Let's see what they choose to do there. It's definitely going to be on the Thunderwolves. Holding is the call against the Thunderwolves.
See if they want. There, it looks like they're just going to add it on to the
where the ball rolled dead, looks like.
Yeah, and it's at the 24. That'll take it all the way out to the 34-yard line.
While Germano, the guilty party on the Thunderwolves, holding on the punt. On punt protection.
Used to be called a hammer team. I don't know if they call it that anymore, but that moves it all the way out to the 34. So they're not a good series and special team for the Thunderwolves.
The two big wide receivers line up wide to the right. That's Cooley and Patterson for the Falcons. They line up Laquan Wells wide to the left. They do have a tight end who lines up in the slot on the right side, a single running back, and that's Corey Harris. Quarterback is Dylan Graham. Ball's on the left hash mark. 1st and 10, no score here. First possession of the game for Permian Basin. They bring a man in motion across the formation. That's Brock Johnson, the tight end. They're going to run a reverse throw back to the quarterback. They're going to look deep. They're going for it all. The man is wide open right down the middle of the field. He's got it in the clear. 15, 10, 5, touchdown Permian Basin. So they go with the trick play, and they hit it for 66 yards and a touchdown.
Everybody bit, and if there's one guy on the Permian Basin team that should never get free, it's Jeremiah Cooley.
What a specimen he is, and he was wide open right down the middle. The only question was he going to be able to grab it? And he showed great hands there, Joe. He just snared it out of the air.
Yeah, almost looked like Graham overthrew him by a step, but those big mitts on it. And again, how about that creativity coming out, get off the bus. Let's do a trick play and just zing them.
Ball's down, kick is up, and it is good. So quickly here in the ball game, only a minute and change in, 13:27 to go here in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Permian Basin. So they brought a man in motion across the formation with his tight end. They pitched it to the tailback. He pitches it back to the receiver, faking the reverse action, back to the quarterback, and then the launch.
Yeah, you don't want to say blown assignment, but that is as blown assignment as you can get if you have number one. If number one's your responsibility, that will not be good on film on Sunday night.
So 7-0 Permian Basin. They are the defending Lone Star Conference champions. They're the 15th ranked team in the country. Depending on which poll you watch. Since I go with the D2 scoreboard, I go that way.
But I go the AFCA one because that's with the coaches. That it's not much of.
And about 18th or 19th in that one, something like that. So.
I like what coaches, because coaches usually vote, especially at the D2 level, coaches actually vote on the coaches poll and not some football program person.
So either way, they're pretty good.
Yeah, and they should be. Again, and these early polls are based on what they did last year, and they won the Lone Star Conference and made the playoffs.
Well, both teams kind of a similar philosophy on the first series. Thunderwolves on 3rd and 4 took a deep shot, didn't complete it. They come out on their first play, take the deep shot, and hit a big one. Here's the kick. More conventional this time. Chance of the return. Taken at the 20, 25, up the sideline, 30, 33-yard line for the Thunderwolves. That's Peyton Shaw. Good burst there. Gives the Thunderwolves decent starting position out to the 30-yard line. That's where they'll go with their second possession. Down in the game here, 7-0. 3 and out on their first possession.
Well, the first play was negative, and that always puts you behind the chains, and you're playing catch-up ever since from that very first play.
Toscas and Rakowski wide to the left. Retzlaff wide to the right. Dvorak, the tight end, is in this formation. He lines up behind the left tackle. Russell on the left hip of the quarterback, Devin Larson. Takes the snap. Fakes it in the middle, over the middle, caught by Retzlaff. He's in the clear. 50, 45, 40, 30, 20, foot race, 10, 5, touchdown, Thunderwolves.
Anything you can do, we can do better. Reggie Retzlaff goes to the house.
Just a quick slant, and Larson hit him in stride, and Retzlaff shows that breakaway speed there. Looked like the safety might have had a little bit of an angle on him, and Retzlaff just took it away from him.
That's separation speed. That's track speed. That's getting Reggie Retzlaff in one-on-one and Devin Larson going, hey, he's one-on-one. And he got inside right away.
So we've had a 66-yard touchdown and now a 70-yard touchdown on consecutive plays from the line of scrimmage. Extra point try here to try to tie the game. Good snap, ball's down. Kick is up and it's blocked. And a chance for the return now. Thunderbolt's going to have to race here. This is going to be a foot race. Could be 2 points here for the Falcons. Thunderbolts have the angle on the man, but he breaks the tackle, gets up the sideline. He's going to go the distance. It's a 2-point conversion for the Falcons. They block the extra point, and they take it the distance on the return.
Well, they had a kick block last week as well. It was a field goal. It wasn't an extra point. But obviously now 2 games, 2 kicks, 2 blocks.
So instead of a tie game, it's now 9-6. And I think on the return, I believe it was Kendrick Jones who caught the ball in stride up the right side. A couple of Thunderbolts had the angle on him, Joe, but he was very patient, allowing his blockers to take out the pursuit.
Yeah, and not only that, it was pretty fortuitous that he caught it where he did, because there was a wall already set up. He didn't have to do much except not trip over the yard markers on his way down.
So just when you think you've seen it all, you say, well, no, I had that. I haven't seen it all. That's a new one.
That is a new one. And hey, give Permian Basin credit. They just gave up a 70-yard touchdown pass, and they don't fall back on their – they go out and make a play.
So the score now 9-6, Permian Basin. And the Thunderbolts' kicking woes continue. They missed 2 field goal attempts last week. One they kicked right into the center's back. It was so low.
And we said that was a snap. That was a hold, I think.
Yeah.
Phil Vigil
but
said
this one was just kicked low. You got to get some elevation on your kicks. And to me, that's probably pretty good scouting by Permian Basin. They probably saw that on film, and they really had their big guys in the middle there, and they all leapt right when the ball was kicked, and they formed the old picket fence there on the return.
Well, and the problem now is you've had 2 weeks, 2 block kicks. That doubt creeps in now.
Here's the kickoff. Set deep, and that one's going to go into the end zone. So Permian Basin will take it out to the 25-yard line. 13-12 to go here in the first quarter. 9-6, Permian Basin on top. Ready to run their second play from scrimmage. So now what do you run? After throwing the old reverse throwback to the quarterback, and he hits the guy in stride down the middle.
You know, if I'm coaching, I say, let's run our second funnest trick play. Let's just keep throwing them at him.
They're going to move the ball over to the left hash mark here for Permian Basin. Dylan Graham, the quarterback. Well, he was 31 for 50 coming in. He's now 32 for 51. And he now has 5 touchdowns on the year. Bunch formation to the right, plus an extra wide receiver. So they set up the wide receiver screen, and the Thunderbolts shut it down. And as we've mentioned, every team runs it in college football, and nobody succeeds. It's no gain. 2nd down and 10.
And that was quads to the right. That wasn't 3. That was 4.
So double wide out left, including Ben Patterson. He's got a man in the slot right behind him. That's Laquan Wells. Now they kind of shift a little bit. 2 wide outs to the right, including the touchdown maker, Cooley, here on 2nd and 10. Now the running back, Harris, shifts over to the right hip of Graham here on 2nd and 10. Thunderbolts stunned across the defensive line. Straight drop back. Here comes pressure up the middle. They throw it out in the right flat. It's caught by the running back. He's got room up the sideline. Taken out of bounds just at the marker. And they are going to give him the first down at the 35-yard line. I'm not so sure, but I think the officials are schooled in just keeping that ball moving forward. I thought he was about a foot short, but they give him the 35, 1st and 10.
Well, everybody cleared out, and the back just stayed out there and unaccosted all the way down. Something is wrong with CSU Pueblo's defense when these guys are that wide open. I mean, if you miss a tackle, you're in the neighborhood. That was another one that was wide open.
So 1st and 10 for the Falcons. This time they shift the tight end Johnson to the left side of the formation. They're going to run it up the middle this time. Big run out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. He's tripped up there.
Nushi got him below, and then Seidenberger got him on top.
Yeah, if Nushi doesn't get him on the ankles there, that might have been a huge run. Seidenberger coming over to clean up. It's a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. 9-6, Permian Basin with the early lead here. Had some crazy big plays already in this game. 3 of them to be exact. 2 in the passing game, 1 on special teams. 2nd and 4. And they give it off the right side, and a good stop by the Thunderbolts, hauling down the running back Harris at about the 44-yard line. Coming over, looked like Sampleton had
Josiah Sampleton, fortunate to get him behind the line of scrimmage. You only gave him a couple of yards on that, short of the 1st down marker.
3rd and a yard from the 44. Double tight end set this time with an extra man in the slot on the right side. Their version of the heavy package. They go up the middle, and it's right at the sticks. I think he's short.
He is short.
About a foot short.
By a foot, because he had to get to the 45, and the ball will not be touching the 45.
So good stand here by the Thunderwolves. We'll see if Permian Basin rolls the dice here and decides to go for it on 4th down and a foot.
You got to, don't you, with this team? Your 15th ranked team in the country.
Thunderwolves send their heavy defensive front out. They're allowing the Thunderwolves to substitute here because Permian Basin substitutes. So the center judge waits, and now they're ready to go here on 4th down and a foot.
They may take a shot
from the gun. Now they look it over. Now they change the play call. 7 on the play clock. Graham taking his time here. Takes the snap. He runs up the middle, and he dives forward, and he barely got it. He kind of slipped, but he submarined his way under there. Thunderwolves had good penetration, but Graham, by submarining, able to get forward for the first down.
Again, empty backfield. It was either going to be him or them trying to draw him off sides. Got a little scuffle after, but it's going to be a first down.
So officially a gain of 2, puts it out to the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. They lead it 9-6.
Ran back for 1 yard, first down.
Now whistle's blowing here. We have a stoppage in play. I don't know if we have a clock issue here or what. Referee comes in, talks to the side judge.
Both clocks will start on 9.
Oh, it is a clock issue. Now they set the ball ready for play. It starts on the referee's command here. 1st and 10. Empty backfield here. Straight drop back. Here comes pressure off the edge. Looks like they're holding him. He is taken down at the 40-yard line. Boy, they were holding Scipio coming off that edge. He was still able to get to the quarterback and throw him for a 7-yard loss back to the 39-yard line.
You know, Scipio came from the far side, and Cody Ramey came from the near side. Cody kind of went underneath and was kind of clogged up that middle, and Scipio came across the top and collected the sack for a -7.
So first big defensive play of the game by either team here. So it's 2nd and 17 now for the Falcons from their own 39-yard line, leading the game 9-6. Trip to the left. Lone running back is Harris. They give it to him up the middle, and he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. Gets forward for a yard is all. As flying in there was Nushi.
He's just imposing. Tiger Pride, people. Tiger Pride, John Nushi.
So it's 3rd and 16 now for Permian Basin. Thunderwolves make massive substitutions here. 6 different guys come into the game. They bring their speed rushers in, plus their nickel package on the defensive back. So it's 7 defensive backs, all 10 yards off the line of scrimmage here. Going to rush 4. Straight drop back. Here comes the pressure off the edge. They flush him. Pass down the sideline. Intercepted at the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Hurdling his way inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line for the Thunderwolves. It's Peyton Shaw.
Graham threw that ball under duress. He had a little more time than he thought he did. Chucked it short, and Peyton Shaw picked it off.
Well, Peyton Shaw, we've already seen him returning on kicks. He's got those kind of skills, and he took it up the sideline. Looked very good on that return. Very impressive hurdle job there to get him about 10 extra yards there.
And you know, Peyton Shaw knows this Permian Basin team. He's a transfer from Midwestern State, so he knows that Lone Star Conference.
So the Thunderwolves take over at the 27-yard line of the Falcons. First turnover of the game. And the Thunderwolves tied to take advantage of it here, down 9-6. Double wide out left, extra tight end. They're unbalanced to the left side here. Dvorak's there in the slot. Behind Lucky Dude, there's a false start on the Thunderwolves as the center. As Chappell just kind of started to drag the ball back and knew he was in trouble.
Yeah, Chappell's hips kind of went. He kind of sat, and then he didn't snap the ball, but everybody else went.
So a 5-yard mark off against the Thunderwolves will make it 1st and 15.
Is there a more personable guy on the CSU Pueblo team, though, than Senan Chappell?
Yeah, we had.
I gave him the French pronunciation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Senan Chappell. He's one of the most personable guys on this squad.
Yeah, we had him on the Pack Football Show a year ago. Same formation here. Fake it to Russell, straight drop back. Oh, right down the middle. He's open, in the clear. Got it, touchdown! It's the touchdown maker, Reggie Retzlaff. Just a post pattern right down the middle, and he hit him in stride. The Thunderwolves take the lead.
He has an uncanny knack for just shake and bake and getting open.
And the quarterback, Larson, right on the money with that toss. So Thunderwolves, extra point try here. It's been an adventure this year. Evan Lyons in to try it. Ball's down, kick is up. Got a little more height on it this time, and it's through there. Thunderwolves take the lead. It's 13-9 Pack, 8:11 to go here in the first quarter. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
They gave him the game ball last week in Rapid City, and there wasn't a happier guy in the state.
And as it turned out, Ben and I, we had some planes, trains, and automobiles moments on Friday on our trip home. We got delayed in Rapid City, then had to set on the runway for another 20 minutes while they counted bags, they said. We get to Denver, we're a little bit late, but Armando was on our flight. He said, you know what, you guys covered. You can ride home with me. So we rode home with him, got stuck in all the great Denver traffic, Springs traffic. He ended up taking us to dinner. We finally got home, about 7 o'clock, I think, in the evening after starting off early in the morning. But it was just a great day of being with him, and just got to learn a lot about him. He's got a great past of all the adventures he's had, all of his jobs in the past. I mean, there's not a better, more qualified guy for the job because he's done it all.
Well, and he's an ag guy. He's a valley guy. He's a regular guy. You hear academics, the presidents with all the titles and the numbers and the letters behind him and everything. And Armando's just a dude, He's just a regular guy who's having a little bit of fun and takes higher education extremely seriously.
Well, and I like his philosophy. I'll use my words. Screw the Denver people. They don't want to come here. Forget about them. He says, you know what? We're going to concentrate on the people that want to be here. And I think that's the way to be it. Yeah. If they don't want to come here, don't waste your time worried about recruiting. Recruit the people that want to be here, and that's what he's kind of changing that philosophy. And I like that.
Well, and you could just add it to the list of the litany of travel stories we've had through the years.
Yeah.
And I wasn't part of that because my flight left at 5:30. But I was kind of worried because I didn't have a ride to the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But I found one. TK and Chris Turner. On their way to the airport.
Nice.
I text them, say, hey, you guys want to pick me up? And they did.
That's awesome.
Always an adventure in the RMAC. Always.
Always, even if you're flying. Trips to the right here for the Falcons. Down in the game now. They run a little speed option to the right. They pitch it right side, and the Thunderwolves have that one sniffed out for a couple-yard gain to Corey Harris. They just kind of run down the line of scrimmage there. Kind of a hybrid option play there.
This Thunderwolves defense is begging somebody to try and run on them. You can tell. They just, please try and run on us.
It's a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Permian Basin Falcons. They're in white jerseys with orange pants, orange numerals.
This
kind of a Cleveland Browns look, I guess you'd say.
The subbing in is taking a long time. And I guess that bodes well if you're a Thunderwolf because the play clock's already down to 9.
2nd and 8. Ball's on the right hash mark. Changing the play call. Play clock down to 2. Down to 1. And they get it off just in time. Pressure off the edge. They're going to deep out to the left side throwback throw, and it's caught on the sideline. Was he inbounds? I believe he was.
He was. That was a catch.
Great grab over here on the sideline by Dion Cook.
Well, Ben Watson was in coverage. He just didn't turn around in time.
Cook, he caught 4 balls last week, so make it 5 now on the year.
And that was a great throw by Graham because he threw it where only Cook could get it, and if he doesn't, it's out of bounds.
It was a gain of 22 on the play. He caught a 35-yarder in last week's game against Western New Mexico. They play action, throw it right side, intercepted! It's going to the house!
Our man, Keith McCaney.
10-5, touchdown, Thunderwolves! What a play by Keith McCaney. Joey got his opportunity, and he made the most of it.
Again, not a challenge, an opportunity. Keith McCaney, welcome to the Thunder Bowl.
And he runs down the track. Lets all the fans get into it with him. Runs down to the student section. Says, "Yeah, that's for you."
He just read that. You hear about defensive backs jumping the route. He stepped in front of the receiver and went to the house.
And again, we got to meet him this week on the Pack Football Show. If you didn't get to hear that and you want to hear it, I got it up there. It's on YouTube on my channel. You can look at the link on the Facebook page, but it's there.
You know, they tried to run that wide receiver screen to Cooley, 6'1", trying to post up and just put a body on him. And McKinney stepped in front of that and was untouched to the house.
Extra point try here for the Thunderwolves by Evan Line. Now we got a whistle and a stoppage. Play clock's at 0.
Yeah, it's delay a game on CSU Pueblo because some of the guys who were celebrating are on special teams and were not out there in time.
So they got to mark it off 5 yards now, back to the 8. So it makes the extra point try now a 25-yard attempt as opposed to a 20-yard attempt.
And like nothing is extra about these extra points so far this year.
Thunderwolves now are set. Good snap. Ball's down. Kick is up. And he drives it right through there. So 6:57 to go here in the first quarter. Not a scheduled media time. I think they're getting a quick turnaround here, Aaron. So we'll keep it right here.
What a great play by Keith McKinney. Kid from Arizona. Loves Colorado. You know, I think they're on their 110th day in a row of 100-degree weather. He's so happy he's here, and he loves the Thunderwolves.
That's like the same old recycled story. You know, in Phoenix, Arizona, it's hot in the summertime. This just in, Joe. It's over 100 degrees all the time in the summertime there. But they're making it like it's this big thing. But it does get hot in the desert.
You know, one of the things we learned about Keith McKinney, we saw it last year, too. He started every game last year and every game the year before. He's a veteran. But Keith McKinney is one of those 6-foot corners.
Yeah.
He's not a 5'8" guy or a 5'9". He's 6 feet tall. So put him on Cooley, put him on anybody. You know, he doesn't give up the height advantage that most of these Division II corners do. He's a big corner.
And he showed
with great speed.
Great footwork. They're just able to jump inside the way he did. This is that quick move to get in front of the ball. A lesser cornerback would have just went through the guy, hit and broke up the pass. He made a play on it. Making old Donnell Liamidi happy watching down with his Thunderwolves big screen. Here's the kick. Sailing deep into the end zone, out the back of the end zone. Touchback, and the Falcons will take over at their own 25-yard line.
That's a great weapon for CSU Pueblo to negate the run game. Evan Lyons now 3 kicks, 3 touchbacks.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Permian Basin Falcons, they had to feel great about themselves. One play, they're ahead 7-0. They block an extra point. They're up 9-6, got the ball, but, man, the Thunderwolves have struck back.
Well, that interception followed a 20-yard pass play.
Yeah, right when it seemed like they were going to be ready to get rolling. Well, no time to relax.
This defense wants to be out there, though. You could see it before the game last week. Oh, yeah. Phil Vigil called timeout.
Yeah.
Because Ben Watson was late to the party coming on, and you cannot leave these wide receivers uncovered. So he called the timeout and said, we're not going to do that.
And for those of you that are listening to the game here on a radio in the stands, that's not Nigel Mitchell running out there on the field. The Thunderwolves have a series of double numbers this year. Nigel, of course, is offense number 10. Ben Wilson, or Benjamin Wilson, however you want to go, is the defensive number 10. Thunderwolves have, 6 or 7?
6 double numbers that'll play. I mean, you have your starting quarterback and one of your nickelbacks are both number 12. So you have several double numbers that will be on the field. Phil Vigil, when I first saw the roster, I said, "What, you trying to be Southern Cal?" There's 2 numbers of everyone. And they still have to change numbers so they can play at the same.
And we've seen that happen a couple times in a couple of games I've watched this year where guys have had to change jerseys to play special teams.
It's ridiculous.
So 1st and 10 for the Falcons. From their own 25 here, following the touchback. Thunderwolves lead it 20-9 here in an action-packed first quarter of play. They're going to hand the ball off the right side, cutting back inside. Big gain, 30, 35, 38-yard line. Nice run there by Corey Harris, and we have a stoppage, but that's just to move the chain, or do we have a helmet issue?
No,
Yeah,
Purcell
Thunderwolves.
lost his lid.
Yeah.
And that play right there, nice run play for the Falcons, was well blocked.
So it's a first down run out to the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Falcons there. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 20-9 Thunderwolves. Double wide out to the left, single wide out right. Handed off right side of the reserve tailback, and he is stuffed, but able to slippery his way out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. That was not a bad run there. I think that's Gerald Palmer. Should be the backup.
That was 3 yards. It should have been for a -3.
Well, that's not Gerald Palmer. That's a different running back they snuck in there. Camden Tyler, reserve running back. Yes, there we go. I got him. Camden Tyler. He had 7 carries a week ago for 43 yards, so not a bad 1-2 punch. He takes the handoff up the middle. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage and thrown down. Seidenberger had his nose right in the hole there, knocked him backwards, able to get forward for a yard after the collision. So it'll be 3rd down now, 3rd and 6 for the Falcons.
That was what was called a hard yard. CSU Pueblo substituting, looks like 9 guys.
Yeah, they're bringing their speed rushers plus their nickel package.
Well, Daniel Bone will never come off the field, so you know that one. McCaney probably will never come off the field. So everybody else is new. CSU Pueblo was lined up in the neutral zone. This is a free play. He was lined up in
Gain
the
of about a
neutral
yard by the quarterback Graham, but it's not going to matter as the Thunderwolves were offside, so it's going to bring up 3rd and a yard now.
Penalty marker on the play.
That was pretty obvious. It was right in front of the official. He was standing almost in the backfield. He's throwing up his hands like it wasn't, but he was pretty obvious. Trying to get a number on that.
Here's the call.
Offside. Defense, number 10. It's a 5-yard penalty. New play. 3rd down.
So it brings up 3rd and a yard now for the Falcons. That negated what was a good defensive play by the Thunderwolves. They were able to, well, it wasn't a sack because he got forward for a yard, but they got to the quarterback. But instead of 4th down, now it's 3rd and a yard.
That was on Caden Rulo, one of the better up-and-coming defensive backs. He was covering a wideout, just lined up on the wrong side of the ball.
Here's that quarterback run play up the middle, and he gets the first down. Graham puts his head down and takes the collision, but he's got the first down out to midfield.
Now, if I'm both offensive coordinators, I feel pretty good about this first quarter. If I'm both defensive coordinators, I'm saying, hey, we got some work to do, fellas.
Graham carries for 2 yards.
The umpire tax moves it back to the 49. They want to start on an even yard marker. They don't want to start at a half yard, so they take the half yard away and put it at the 49. 1st and 10 there for the Falcons. Handed off the right side, and a little cut move and a good stop there by the Thunderwolves. As knifing his way in there for the pack. I believe that was Bryson Torrey.
Backup linebacker.
So a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Another mass substitutions here for the Thunderwolves. They bring 5 new bodies into the ball game here. 2nd down and 8 for the Falcons. Tight formation here. Got a wide out to each side, but they've got a couple of slot backs as well here, right behind each tackle. Harris, the running back, ball on the right hash here on 2nd and 8. They give it around the left side. He's got a nice little escort around the corner. Turns the corner, but then it's knifed down. What a play there by the Thunderwolves. Coming in on the stop. I think that's Donovan English from his cornerback position. Broke that play up for a gain of about 4. Brings up 3rd and 4. Looked like it's going to go for a lot more.
Student body left. Everybody's out in front. Donovan English was able to keep that manageable.
So 3rd and 4 now for the Falcons. Trips to the right, single wide out left. Comes pressure off the edge. Pass over the middle, caught, and then blasted at the 38-yard line, but holding on to it. A nice grab there over the middle by Gunnar Absek.
It's a little crossing route.
And he gets the first down to the Thunderwolves' 38-yard line.
You know, when you get a linebacker on your hip and a safety coming across and you put it right on the money like that, Graham, we've seen it, he's pretty accurate with the football.
So 1st and 10 from the 38. Going to roll the pocket right. Pass up the right sideline to the pylon and dropped it. I don't know if he had enough real estate to get his foot down there anyway, but he didn't handle it cleanly. He had to be perfect with it, but I think he knew he'd run out of real estate.
Got a Falcon down at the 44-yard line.
Their big right tackle, I believe, here. Or, well, it's actually the left guard who was kind of pulling over there to protect. Looks like Ramon Diaz.
I'm impressed with Graham's arm strength on the rollout. They roll him to his right. He's got tremendous arm strength.
300-pounder out of El Paso. We should get, we're going to get a media timeout here. 2:28 to go in the first quarter. 20-9 Thunderwolves on Fox Sports Pueblo.
You're
Opposing
listening
field
to
goal.
CSU
We
Pueblo
don't need that
Thunderwolves
shit.
football on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
And welcome back to the Thunder Bowl. The injured player is up, and they've got him over on the training table across the way, and that's their big left guard, Ramon Diaz, 320-pounder out of El Paso, Texas. So it's going to set up now 2nd and 10 for the Falcons from their own, or from the 38-yard line of the Thunderwolves.
It's been an exciting first quarter, but it's also been a long first quarter. There's been a lot of plays. There's been a lot of excitement. Special teams, defensive touchdowns. Reggie.
Well, the weather, it's getting darker here, but I'm looking at the radar, and the storms are kind of fizzling out, Joe, as they get just outside of Pueblo West. So we might catch a break here unless they decide to regroup. The worst of it right now is in a line from Walsenburg northwest to south of Canyon City. But there is a little bit of a disturbance to the northwest of us, but they were a lot worse maybe 10 minutes ago. They've kind of faded a little bit. So we'll just see. We'll keep an eye on it. So we may have some weather here eventually this evening here at the Thunder Bowl. We're ready to go here now. 2nd down and 10 for the Falcons from the 38-yard line of the pack. It's 20-9. Thunderwolves on top. Come to the line of scrimmage here. Double wide out right, single wide out left. The tight end, Johnson, goes in motion, resets on the right side of the formation. They give it up the middle to the backup tailback, and the Thunderwolves have him snuffed out. Gage Hill and company for the Thunderwolves. Look like Sampleton also in there.
We talked to Finney last week about CSU Pueblo using so many players, and they're doing it again tonight defensively.
Gain of 2. 3rd and 8 now for the Falcons. 36-yard line of the Thunderwolves. Straight drop back. Pressure off the edge. They flush him up the middle. They got him.
Scipio.
And it's going to be a yard loss, so a sack for Scipio. Back to the 38-yard line. So 4th down now for the Falcons, and it looks like they're going to send the punt team in. Field goal. They're going to try a 55-yarder, beg your pardon. It's the same, but the punter and the kicker are the same guy, Rafael Vargas. So it's going to be a 55-yard attempt from the left hash mark. Good snap, ball's down, kick is on the way, and that's going to be short. No chance there whatsoever. Shortened to the right. Flag comes down late.
And they're going to call roughing the kicker. A 5-yard play, a 5-yarder, but that'll move them that 5 yards closer.
Running into the kicker. So that replay 4th down. Now, do you kick it again or do you send the offense back out here?
No,
Looks
they're
like
going
they're going to kick it again.
They're going to try it again, and that a 50-yarder at altitude is manageable. Phil Vigil, he wants a word with Charlie Finn, the referee tonight. Said,
that's
the Academy Award for.
Yeah, it's a difference maker call there because you missed a field goal. Plus, the Thunderbolts would have had excellent field position. But now 5 yards closer, so a 50-yard attempt. It is 4th down and 6. But now they move it up a little bit. 4th down and 5. I don't know if that's right. Yeah, okay. Now they're moving in again here. Now we're ready to go. 50-yard field goal try. Ball's down. Kick is up, and that one's going to be shortened to the right. It's a carbon copy kick, Joe.
Same kick exactly. Didn't make any adjustments. First kick was actually better from farther away.
So the Thunderbolts will take over at the line of scrimmage where the kick took place from. That was the 33-yard line.
The CSU Pueblo's hammer team, or the kick block team, got great penetration. He might have rushed that just a little bit. Good thing, too, because they were just close to getting a finger on that.
So it remains 20-9. Thunderbolts take over. They're on top from their own 33-yard line. 1:08 to go here in the first quarter. And they're going to give the ball to Russell for the first time. Nice cut. Cuts inside, but the pursuit gets him at the 35-yard line. Made the first man miss, but coming over to clean things up was Jelon Rockamore.
Kind of ironic. They talked about running the football. A minute left in the first quarter, and a running back finally touches the ball.
2nd down and 8 from the 35 for the Pack. Fake it to Russell this time. Going to run the ball. It's the quarterback. Flag comes down. Holding on the Thunderwolves. Going to be on the tight end here, Dvorak.
Larson carries penalty marker on the play.
Larson on a run-pass option. And he wanted to pass the ball, but the guy he was trying to go to up the right sideline covered up. I think it was Retzlaff. So he kept it, but they caught Dvorak for the hold.
Oh, they call number 72, Jim.
Yeah, they don't call it on because Dvorak was the lead blocker on the play. That's why I thought they might have caught him, but they call it instead on the backside on the right tackle.
Well, Big Jaden Jones is 6'6", 280. If he's holding, you're going to see him. Biggest guy on the field.
So it's now 2nd down and 18 from the 25-yard line for the Thunderbolts. 39 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Pack on top 20-9. Man in motion. Across the formation. Now they're going to give the ball on the right side. Across the 30. Nice cut. 35-yard line on a little trickeration there by the Thunderwolves as Emmanuel Fincher gets the carry. And he was one step away from going to the house there. Got tripped up out to the 34-yard line.
Got a nice little burst there from Emmanuel Fincher.
Sets up 3rd and 9. He got half of what they needed. It was 2nd and 18, and that's going to end the first quarter. I believe the clock now running down to 7. 6 Thunderbolts can just let it run out here. They don't have to run a play up. They're just going to let it happen. So that ends the first quarter of the play. Wild and woolly first quarter here from the Thunderbolt. Well, the action you could want. We've had so far a lot of different plays as well. 20-9 Thunderwolves after 1. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo. Get our recording going back here. We're ready to go. So Thunderbolts now facing 3rd and 9 from their own 34-yard line. They go trips to the left, single wide out right. I know where I'm going, Joe. One-on-one to the right. Let's see if that's what happens here for the Pack. Got to give your quarterback some protection here. And they get him offside. That always helps. And that'll be a stoppage in play because he came across. That forced the Thunderbolts to false start. So it should be a free 5 yards for the Pack here.
And that will help.
And indeed, that is where they were going, up the right sideline, looking for Retzlaff up there. So a 5-yard mark off. Takes it to the 39-yard line. So it makes it 3rd and 4 now. More manageable for the Thunderwolves. Let's see what personnel grouping. They bring the tight end back in the game. Bring Mitchell out. So Dvorak back in there.
Brings the ball to the 39-yard
that gives them an extra blocker so they could run the ball here to Russell perhaps on 3rd and 4.
Max Pro looked just for a sit route for one of these big, tall guys.
Long count. Russell in motion to the left. Now they pass up the right sideline, just throwing it up for grabs, and it's incomplete interference. So on, look at all the laundry come out. Just no chance there for Retzlaff to come back to the ball. It's a interference call on their starting free safety, Cameron Lee.
good things happen when you throw jump balls to Reggie Retzlaff.
So this will be a 15-yard mark off because the spot is more. The flag is 21 yards down the field, so they mark off the 15-yard penalty instead. So 1st and 10 Thunderwolves at the 46-yard line of the Falcons.
That was the same play they threw all last week, except Reggie was coming down with the ball, so pass interference wasn't going to be a problem.
Retzlaff reigns wide to the right. Toscas is wide to the left. Rakowski in the slot to the left. They give it to Russell up the middle, bounces it outside. Across 45, 40, up the sideline, 35, 30, 25, cuts back inside, 15, 10, 5, to the goal line. Touchdown. What a run by Howard Russell.
The dancing machine. High stepping, low stepping, side stepping. Touchdown.
Man, that was an incredible run. That's one of the greatest runs that I think I've ever witnessed in Thunderwolf history. That is not hyperbole there, Joe. That was amazing.
He was drum majoring at the 15 and then cut it back.
26-9, extra point upcoming. It's Evan Lyons.
And Howard Russell's smiling, but he's always smiling.
Another kick is blocked. Another chance for return. It's loose. Get on the ball. There you go. I thought the kicker, or actually the holder, Harner, was going to try to pick that up. He gets on it. So the Thunderwolves waste another point in this ball game. So you look at their kicking game, Joe. It's cost them in this game 5 points. 3 for them, 2 for us. Should be 28-7. Instead, it's 26-9.
I'm telling you, this is week 2. It's a non-conference game. But point of emphasis, starting again tomorrow, kicking game.
Well, it's getting to the point, Joe, where it's a 50-50 proposition. You might as well go for 2 every time because it's a 50-50 proposition on – sometimes some analytics say go for 2 every time because it's a better percentage.
And you as a coach, you as a special teams coach, and now you as players, your confidence is shaken. It never used to be Kyle Major, Greg O'Donnell. These guys were just you never questioned it.
Just allowing just that. But the other team knows it. They smell blood, so they're getting a little extra penetration, and then you're kicking it low. It's a bad combination. So 26-9 Thunderwolves, 14:44 to go here in a wild and woolly first half. It's been a crazy game so far.
Fun to call, though.
Yes, it has been. Big plays aplenty. Here's the kick. And it is sent deep into the band, who's now behind the goal line or the back of the end zone. That's one of the things they've changed here on the game day operations here. I think it's a good one. It gets the band out of the good high-quality student section seats, and you get the students in there, and they're out here in full force.
CSU-Pueblo Thunderwolves 26. Texas-Permian Basin 9.
So the Falcons are back out on the field. Thunderwolves defense makes their way out. Falcons will start the possession from their own 25-yard line, trailing 26-9. This is a game they led 7-0, also had a lead of 9-6. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Thunderwolves defense stuffs it. No room there for Harris. No gain, at least 2nd down and 10, unless they give him a little charitable yard here. Let's see where they place it.
Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd down.
They are going to give him a yard, it looks like. So
That's
gain
a
of 1.
generous yard.
Yes.
Wow, it's a half yard, but you give it to him. But
yeah, 2nd down and 9. Trips to the right. Got a tight end on the left side of this formation. Boy, the Thunder will send the house, and they got him. Boy, it came with a max pressure that time. Just more guys than the Falcons could block, and the Thunder will snow him under back at the 18.
Mr. Fix-It, Mr. I Can Do Anything, Noah Purcell, came off the edge and swallowed him up.
He can play a little fullback. He can run back kicks. He can sack the quarterback.
He might be Inspector Gadget. He's out there all over the place.
3rd and 17 now for the Falcons from their own 18-yard line. Thunderbolts will rush 4, but they've got everybody back about 10 yards from the line of scrimmage here. Just setting up the wall. Here comes pressure again off the edge. They get the pass caught across the 25 and to the 30, but well short of the first down. Nice grab there. Pretty good run after the catch, but just too much ground to make up for Malik Allen, the slot back coming across out to the 30. So it's 4th and 5, and the Falcons have to punt it away. So Thunderwolves were happy to give that to him. They got enough pressure on the quarterback to make him get rid of it in a hurry, and the defense was far enough back where it didn't give Allen a chance. So now Rakowski a chance to return a punt, perhaps. He stands back at his own 25 here. The punter is Vargas. Kick is away.
Returnable.
Taken and fumbled and picked up at the 15 and then taken down. So Rakowski, by fumbling that punt, cost his team about 10 yards there as he had to retreat and come up with it all the way back inside the 15. They're going to mark it at the 14-yard line.
Jimmy peeked. I was watching his eyes the whole time. The ball was coming right to him, and as it got to his hands, he looked up.
Yeah, and we say it cost him 11 on the where he would have caught. He would have caught it at the 25, so that's plus 11. Then you got to figure he's going to return that thing 10 yards because he had all kinds of room.
Yeah, it was one of those perfect returnable punts, but he looked up and he knew he had space. Got to catch the ball first. Zach, he was our guest last week on the coach's show.
Ball at the 14-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Pack. They're going to go trips to the right this time. Ball on the left hash mark. Bring a man in motion. Now reset. Give the ball to Russell. Cuts inside. Not much there. Got a yard maybe. To the 15. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
I like Russell has a little bit of a stutter step to him. He kind of lets the hole develop just a little bit. He doesn't just go.
Yeah, he's the ultimate 1 yard here, 2 yards here, 1 yard here, 50 yards. When he breaks one, it's always huge. 2nd and 9.
Backup lineman, redshirt freshman Evan James has to come in for a play. Lineman lost his lid.
Thunderwolves changing the play call. Ty Virgin into the game to play tailback. Now he sets up on the left hip of Larson here. Fake it to him. Straight drop back. Pass right side. Caught by Nigel Mitchell. Spin move. Spin again across the 20. Takes the man on his back. Gets forward. He's got the first down. Show me something there, Nigel Mitchell.
Kid's battled back from a season-ending injury. Comes out and still has that sprinter speed.
That's why you do all those squats, Joe. Here's the hand off the middle to Virgin, and he's hit down after a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down 8. Thunderwolves went hurry up. That's part of their plan here. They want to get this Falcon defense on their heels, get them gassed.
And you'll take these little 2-yard gains just to keep your offensive line engaged.
Look at this formation. Diamond, 4 guys to the right, fake the wide receiver screen. Now roll the pocket right, trying to get out of bounds, and now flipping it forward, incomplete. And that's able to save a couple yards there by Larson saving the sack. It'll bring up 3rd down at 8. Thing is, Joe, when you line up 4 guys to the right, it draws a lot of attention.
And I'm not exactly sure who was the intended receiver on that. It was hard with that diamond formation. Who was going to try and break free?
Rakowski back in the game. A lot of substitutions here for the Thunderwolves.
You know, we thought Rakowski was going to get a lot more looks tonight. He didn't last week because it was just some one-on-one on the corners. But as a slot guy tonight,
so 3rd and 8 here for the Pack. Here comes pressure off the edge. He pick it up the right side. He's open. Pass. It's interference. Got to be, doesn't it? No flag. The crowd murmuring here. Why is that not interference? It was underthrown ball. You got to allow the receiver a chance, don't you?
I would think. I thought it was Gary. I thought the guy was reaching. The field judge was reaching for the flag.
4th down.
So 4th down. Perhaps a little wishful thinking on my part.
Well, and Permian Basin came with good pressure
Yeah.
that time. Maybe Devin threw it a little bit sooner than he wanted to.
Good snap. Punt is away.
Good kick.
Good punt. Fair catch signaled for and taken at the 29-yard line. Good coverage there by the Thunderwolves as Alcifer was right there on the coverage unit, not allowing any chance for the return. Gunnar Absek was the return man that time for the Falcons. So it's 26-9. Thunderwolves on top. Good defensive stand there by the Falcons. Might be too early to say keeps them in the ballgame, but when you're down 17 on the road, you don't want to give up another score, and their defense does the job, gets their offense back out there.
CSU Pueblo taking some shots, even when they're not there, and I kind of like that. Sometimes you get a little bit too overconfident, though, in that game, especially after last week when you could pretty much dictate whatever you wanted to do.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Tight formation this time for the Falcons. Only 2 wideouts. They got an extra blocker on each side of the formation. They hand it up the middle. Thunderwolves snuff it out, though. Gain of a yard is all. It's almost like Permian Basin is saying, we got to establish the run here, and Corey Harris only gets a yard.
John Nushi should get credit for that tackle only because he used his butt. The guy ran right into him.
2nd down and 9 now from the 30-yard line. Ball is right in the middle of the field here. Big wide receiver Cooley, who caught a touchdown early in the game on the first play from scrimmage, is wide to the right. They hand it up the middle. Again, the Thunder will stuff it for a yard. And I think that said, man, we've called his name 2 or 3 times in this game. Josiah Sampleton, able to make the stop. Sampleton, a big dude, 295 pounds. Not that tall, 6 foot. He's built like a fire hydrant. An unusually big fire hydrant, I should say.
He's a Texas kid, too. I'm sure there's some pride performing well against a Texas school.
So it's 3rd and 8 now for the Falcons. Ball again right in the middle of the field. Double wide out to each side. Thunder will show they're going to rush 5 here. Now they drop 1 guy back. They do have pressure on him, and they've got him back at the 24-yard line. And again, it's Scipio.
You can't block him that long. You try and chip Scipio and keep him away, but when your quarterback tries to scramble like that, Scipio's too fast.
Scipio, he might be the ultimate definition of a late bloomer. I know a couple years ago he had that, they said he's going to be a star, and he just kind of struggled. But last year he played great, and he's playing great this year. He has really come into his own.
Well, he's 6'4", 225, just from right up the street there at Harrison High School in Colorado Springs.
Good pressure, but they get the punt away. Angled toward the right sideline and hits down out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be just inside the 40. Be good field position for the Thunderbolts. No return, of course, on the play.
Look, Phil Vigil.
Yeah, Phil Vigil saying it's right here.
He's showing where the punt is.
Phil's going to lose this argument by a yard.
Right at the 40.
Oh, he did have it spotted correctly. Give Phil Vigil that. Timeout on the field. 9:02 to go here in the first half. 26-9 Thunderwolves on Fox Sports Pueblo.
You're listening to CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
26-9 Thunderwolves. 9:02 to go here in the first half. Thunderwolves football at their own 40-yard line.
Defense has stepped up, Jim.
Yeah, they're playing great. Gave up that first big play of the game, but since then they've been stellar. Retzlaff with 2 touchdown catches in the game. McCaney has an interception return for a touchdown. Man in motion. Dvorak, pass on the left side, caught. This is the first grab of the game by Taylor Toscas. Gets 2 on the play. That's that old wide receiver screen. Little bit of a different wrinkle that time as they had the tight end Dvorak out there to try to block. Still only a gain of a yard, 2nd and 9. Play action, going to run the ball this time and get down Devin Larson. Ball came out late, but the ball was ruled dead. Gain of a yard, 3rd down and 8. I don't think you want Devin Larson running the ball too much. He does have a history of some concussion issues in the past.
Well, Taylor Toscas is probably wondering, hey, am I a decoy? After last week's incredible performance.
Karai Coney, the cornerback, doing a pretty good job on him here so far in this game. 3rd and 8 for the Pack. Now they'll change the play call after trying to draw him off. They got Mitchell, Rakowski, and Toscas to the left. Retzlaff wide to the right in single coverage out there. But looks like the linebacker kind of cheating over that way a bit. Now he comes on the rush. Now they're going to roll the pocket, get good protection, pass up the sideline. Rakowski's got it inside the 40, inside the 35. What a strike by Larson. And welcome to the ball game, Zach Rakowski.
Yeah, Jim, he found the spot right between the corner and the nickel. And a great rollout from Devin Larson allowed him to get in that spot.
What a pass. Just a laser up the sideline. So 1st and 10 Thunderwolves, 33-yard line of the Falcons in Permian Basin. Down to 7:30 to go here in the first half. Thunderwolves lead at 26-9. Virgin is the running back. He takes the hand off. No, he doesn't. It's play action. They go up the sideline. Caught, back shoulder throw. Toscas breaks a tackle. Touchdown. No, he's out of bounds. Beg your pardon. He's out of bounds at the 11. He broke the tackles, but the head linesman comes running up the sideline, says, nope, he stepped out of bounds right here.
Jimmy has to lead the nation in yards after catch through 2 games. Taylor Toscas is great after he catches the football.
Oh, 1st and 10 Thunderwolves at the 11. Toscas will now come out of the ball game. So now Thunderwolves taking their time. Play clock's down to 15. Now they're starting to get serious here. It almost feels like we might get a timeout coming here. Clock down to 10 on the play clock. Retzloff is wide to the left. Bring a man in motion across the formation. Resetting. They do get the play off. Hand it up the middle, and a gain of maybe a yard on the play.
That's Burrell at tailback, Jim.
Corian, a senior out of Beaumont, Texas. Gains a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 10. It almost looked like that was a regroup play for the Thunderwolves there.
You know, Burrell came in. He's a transfer from Henderson State, which is a good football program.
Now it looks like they've brought Ty Virgin into the game to play tailback. He's on the right hip of Devin Larson here. Trips to the right here. Ball right in the middle of the field here on 2nd and 9 from the 10-yard line. Now they're going to change the play call as Larson slapped his hands. Now comes up, changes it. Now the receivers adjust on the right side as Toscas gets wide to the right this time. You're going to roll the pocket right. Pass, caught. Rakowski at the 5 and then knocked down. They might give him forward progress to the 4. Nope, they're going to mark it right at the 5.
Larson's pass is complete to number 6, Zach Rakowski.
So it'll be 3rd down and 4 for the first down, 5 for the touchdown for the Thunderwolves here with 5:42 to go in the second quarter.
That was a nice little catch for the Loveland Lightning Bolt because he knew he was going to get drilled.
Yeah, if you're going to get hit, you might as well hold on to it, right? Kind of a tight formation this time for the Thunderwolves. Double tight end set. Fake it. Now Larson rolling to his right. Boy, he had Russell open initially, didn't get it to him, and then he pays a heck of a price as the cornerback Rockamore comes over and just flattens Devin Larson. He needed to get that ball out in the flat immediately. Russell was open. He didn't get it to him right away, and then he paid the price.
You know, they're going to try a field goal here. This may be a good time to try and figure out what ails you. Or do you go for it and try and pick up the first down or the touchdown?
Got to get a holder out there. Now they're ready. So it'll be a kick from the right hash mark here, a 22-yard attempt. Thunderwolves have had 2 kicks blocked already in this game on extra points. 1 returned for a 2-point conversion. Ball's down, kick is up. And this one is good. So the field goal is good. 5:11 to go here in the second quarter. Not a scheduled media timeout yet, so we'll keep it right here because they're going to change it up real quick. We've got a new rules this year on our timing. Might as well tell Aaron Kinnischtzke. He may have seen the memo, but if we don't get the media timeout under 5 and it goes down to the new 2-minute timeout, then we take our media timeout there. If we do get a chance to take the timeout before then, we do, because then the 2-minute warning becomes just a little 30-second timeout. So there's your inside baseball look, that useless information that you really don't need to know out there in listening land.
Are you good with them going for a field goal in that situation?
Yes, I am. You got to take the points, even though you've struggled.
Even though your kicking game is
sooner or later you got to figure it out, right? I think 4th and 4 was too much of a nut to crack. If it had been 4th and maybe a yard or 2, then go for it. But 4th and 4.
That's one of those I could go either way philosophies. But you know me. I'm a gambler.
Yep.
Go for it. Because then if you don't get it, they're on their 2 or 3 yard line.
Here's the kick. That's one thing the Thunderwolves have been good at, is banging the ball out the back of the end zone here. Again, it ends up in the band.
Might have to re-kick that one.
Yep, flag is down. Thunderbolts were offside. I think you can add the 5 on the end here.
End zone for a touchback. First down. Penalty marker on the play.
Here comes the call, I think.
Well, the back judge just picked up his flag, so maybe they're what? Oh, yeah, they're just adding the 5.
So it wasn't offside. It was illegal formation on the Thunderbolts. Must not have had the proper amount of people on one side of the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's a new formation that we haven't seen. They didn't show that formation last week.
So ball's at the 30-yard line for the Falcons. Trips to the right, straight drop back. Here comes pressure off the edge. Gets the pass away over the middle. Little pick play across the middle. It's complete for the first down.
Graham had time that way, but just enough time because pressure was coming.
Just a double crossing route, and they were able to pick the Thunderbolts defenders off there and open it up for a gain of 10 out to the 40-yard line. First and 10 Falcons, trailing here 29-9. Long count here. Double went out to each side. Stepping up, firing at left side. Caught. Another good gain up the sideline. Be another first down for the Falcons.
One thing I've noticed about Graham is he does not look receivers off. His eyes go right to where he's going to throw it. So his progressions, usually the first guy he looks at is going to get the ball.
Camden Tyler made the catch there. He's the backup tailback, but he's lined up wide in this formation with a 5 wide out package here. Graham takes the snap. Here comes pressure up the middle. He's hit, gets the pass away, going for it all, and it is incomplete.
And
no flag. Boy, that was close. With Thunderbolts, a lot of contact, a lot of, looked to be contact, but looked like just more or less rubbings racing, as Joe likes to say.
Well, and that's one of those same calls that was a no call earlier in the first quarter.
And
got a player down, though.
Yeah, the wide receiver, who was the intended receiver, is down.
But he came down out of play.
And this should be our media timeout here. The Red Hat has not made his way out on the field here, but I don't think he knows. He's supposed to be. Should be a media timeout here. Should be.
Well, the officials haven't really given
Yeah,
the
they
signal.
haven't given that signal as well, so.
They're getting water.
Yeah, we're getting water. I don't want to get caught, and of course we can always take it at the 2-minute warning there too if we have to, if referees are meant to. That's the whole thing you're worried about here. Injured player is up, the wide receiver for Permian Basin, who hit the deck hard over there on the left sideline. Let's see if we can get I think it is Dion Cook, I believe. Cook who caught 4 balls last week. Also caught a ball in this game.
And they did not call the timeout. They just let him get off. Well, he was already off the field, but I think you got to do that when you call the training staff over. You have to stop play.
So it's 2nd and 10 now for the Falcons from the 45-yard line of the Thunderbolts. Pack lead at 29-9. Double wide out to each side. There's a lone back. That's Cameron Tyler. He goes in motion out to the left. They look up the left sideline, and that ball is sailed out of bounds.
Right pass is incomplete.
Intended receiver, Laquan Wells. I guess, I don't know if he's intended. He was just the closest man to it. The ball sailed high and wide. Hit over there on the training table on the running track. So it'll be 3rd and 10 now for Permian Basin. The defending Lone Star Conference champions here, down 20 on the road. Thunderbolts press coverage here on this side of the field. They're going to roll the pocket right. Here comes pressure off the backside. Get the pass away low and outside. That's incomplete.
No chance on that. The ball was out of play.
They were trying to get it to the slot back, Gunnar Absek, who caught a crosser earlier in this game. So now should be 4th down from the 40. It was a flag down here. Flag down. Personal foul. Roughing the passer on the Thunderwolves. So that takes it down to the 30-yard line of the Thunderbolts. That's like a turnover.
That's horrible. That's where you have to have discipline. But when quarterbacks roll out, it's almost like fair game.
So it's 1st and 10 now at the Thunderbolts' 30-yard line. New life for the Falcons of Permian Basin. And they're going to hand it up the middle and getting forward for about 4, maybe 5 yards on the play, Corey Harris. He's down to the 26. So give him 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. 4:15 to go here. Second quarter. Thunderbolts lead it 29-9.
And Permian Basin gets the ball to start the second half. So a score here going in and then getting the ball coming out is what you want as a coach.
Double wide out right, single wide out left. The tight end is in the slot to the left side. Fake it into the middle. They're going for it all up the right side to the pylon, incomplete. Had him open there, but decent coverage. The pass had to be perfect, and it was just a little too long.
Pass is incomplete. 3rd down.
Trying to see who was in coverage there. They've run so many defensive backs in and out. I think that's Ben Watson. Oh, that's Peyton Shaw.
Shaw, who has the interception in this game for the Thunderbolts, one of the interceptions. McCaney with the other one was a pick 6. 3rd and 6 for the Falcons from the 26-yard line. Got to feel like it's 4-down territory here. Thunderbolts rushing off the edge. Here they come. Pass over the middle. Broken up. Great defensive play by the cornerback, Ben Wilson. Cornerback blitz off the left side that time. It was a free run at Graham, and he had to get rid of it. And Wilson, a brilliant play on the backside. So now it's 4-down territory for the Falcons here. They'll go for it on 4th and 6 from the 26 with 3:51 to go here in the second quarter.
That was textbook great coverage.
Trips to the right. Single wide out left. Graham takes the snap. Here comes pressure off the edge. He gets away. Now rolling right. Here comes pressure on the backside. And they get him down just before he gets the first down. He's a yard short. He tried to sell out and dive forward, but he's taken down a yard short. The ball goes over on downs. Great play by the Thunderbolts defense. They might pay a price here as Seidenberger is shaken up on the play. I think he's going to be all right. I think he hit the turf hard when he dived to try to make the stop. Yeah, he's rolling over. He's going to get up now, I think.
I think he's telling him, I am okay.
Well, he sold out on the play. Dylan Graham, the quarterback, sold out. They both dived on the play, and Graham just a yard short there.
And that's a great play by CSU-Pueblo's defense, keeping it in front of them, knowing where they had to go to get to the sticks.
So the ball goes over on downs. Thunderbolts take over at their own 21-yard line with 3:43 to go here in the second quarter, leading it 29-9. Two wideouts right, single wideout left. Burkowski, the man in the slot, right on the numbers. They're going to give it up the middle. Decent opening. Nice run here by Russell. Flag comes down. Going to be a hold on the Thunderwolves.
Too decent of a run.
Penalty marker on the play.
Holding against the Thunderwolves. Phil Vio with arms outstretched, saying, what are we doing out here? So the flag was a couple yards up the field here, so I think it's going to be a 2-yard gain and then a 10-yard markup.
I didn't know who they called that on. Almost sounded like they called it on the tight end, Curtis Luckadoo.
So it was a yard gain and then a 9 or 10-yard mark-off. So it's 1st and 19 now from the 12-yard line. Clock rolls with 3:30 to go here in the second quarter. Thunderbolts leading at 29-9. Trips to the right, double wide out left. They're only rushed 3, so it should be some time here. It's flushed out of the pocket, though. Now gets the pass away. Incomplete. Boy, they got great pressure. They're rushing only 3.
And Devin Larson kept moving backward instead of going side to side. He kept going back. Now, all of a sudden, you're out of real estate. You're in the end zone.
So 2nd down and 19 from the 12. Clock stops with 3:20 to go here in the second quarter. It's kind of an uneasy situation for the Thunderbolts on offense here. Leading by 20 on your own 12-yard line. You don't want to do anything stupid here. but you still want to try, you know what I mean? And they fake it. Throw left side. Caught. Taskas up the sideline. Makes one man miss. Makes another man miss. Gets out to the 25-yard line. They keep the clock rolling because they said he was forced out of bounds. Good play on the play for the Thunderbolts all the way out to the 25. So they pick up 13. They make it manageable here, Joe. 3rd and 7.
Again, yards after catch with Taylor Tosser.
The clock never started. Clock still says 3:20. That's what it was when the play started. So we've got a clock issue down there. Officials recognize it now, are trying to wind it. So that whole play took place. There should be under 3 minutes to go here. The clock never ran on that play. We'll see if that comes back to haunt some team. Pressure up the middle. Late pressure. Pass away, intercepted. 30-yard line, 25. Just a bad decision there by Devin Larson. Threw it right into the hands of the linebacker. Cameron Lee, or free safety. And so now the Falcons will take over. Here's that mistake you worried about for the Thunderbolts playing in their end of the field.
Well, he's trying to throw it away, and he threw it too good. That's exactly what you did not want to happen.
So now the Falcons, with 3:01 to go, down by 20. And Joe already mentioned it. They get the ball first to start the second half. So if they can get a score going into the locker room, get the ball to start the second half, they can get right back into it. A lot of things have to happen their way for that to happen, but at least they have that hope.
And now we're getting to the point where the defense has been on the field a lot late in the second half. I know they use a lot of players, but they got to be tired. Single coverage. Jeremiah Cooley's got single coverage.
4 wide receivers to the left. They look up the right side. They're just throwing it up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Flag comes down. Oh, my goodness. They're going to call this on the Thunderwolves. After some of the stuff we've seen in this game that they've been doing, they're going to call that. Interference against the Thunderwolves on Donovan English. He was locked up in single coverage on their home run hitter, Jeremiah Cooley.
You know how you don't think anybody would put Reggie Retzloff in single coverage? I feel the same way about Jeremiah Cooley.
Well, they got what they wanted by splitting 4 guys to the left. All the defense went that way. Fans, you can hear them booing. They saw what I saw. That was a reach to call that interference, to say the least.
Well, Graham was just trying to throw the ball away. He was under duress and just chucked it. I mean, there was a bump there, but the ball was uncatchable.
So 1st down and 10 now from the 12-yard line.
They just said the game has been suspended for lightning at 2:57 to go in the second quarter.
So that's an automatic at least 30 minutes. And it could be longer because then each subsequent lightning bolt restarts the clock. So that means we go into timeout mode here. As we'll check the old radar. I told you a little while back that line of storms that was to the left. I got to reset my phone and my radar here. We'll see where it is right now. And
well, it doesn't
the radar doesn't look like it's close yet, but the radar is always maybe 5 or 10 minutes behind. But there's really nothing in the area yet that would make you think there's a thunderstorm in the area.
Well, my lightning alert says it's 1 mile away.
About which cell, though? I don't even see a cell that's capable
matter.
of it.
It's just,
yeah.
I get a lightning alert. Us golfers, we got that 2.8 miles away. But I think what's the buffer? It's 8 miles.
Yeah, but looking at the radar, there's only one little light green cell about 5 miles north of Pueblo. There's a big cell moving through Pueblo West right now. So we're at least 30 minutes. So basically what you do now is you go into halftime timing, I believe. I don't think you want to have 2 minutes of action when they come back and then take another 20 minutes off. So we're at least 30 minutes, and it's going to take longer than that, Joe, because we've got another storm coming through. So it's probably going to be an hour, I would think we're going to be sitting here. So that's when we get the old headset out and hope people will come up and talk to us so we can kill some time.
Well, our listenership's going up dramatically as they go to their vehicles. But then here's the one thing I will say. You hope people come back.
Yeah.
This is 2 good football teams. You hope you go to the car, you maybe run and get a hamburger, or imbibe in a little
you go over to Thunder Zone maybe.
And then you come back. Because this game's going to get finished. Whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning or they're not going to not play it.
Well, this adds to what has been a wild night already. Thunderbolts leading at 29-9. We've had a blocked extra point return for a touchdown. We've had 2 huge plays in the passing game for touchdowns, one by each team. You've had a pick 6 for the Thunderwolves. You've had an incredible run by Howard Russell for a touchdown. It all adds up right now to 29-9, and the Thunderwolves, really their kicking game has cost them, 5 points in this game.
Just been one of those nights.
It should be 31-7, basically. Instead, they gave up, should have had 2 extra points, and they gave up a 2-point run for them.
Well, we'll get a chance to talk about other action. There are a couple games going on that interest me right now. It's halftime in Lincoln.
Okay, what's going on there, Joe?
It's 28-0, red shirts.
All right,
which
as we expected.
Yay! And my Rammies are winning. They're playing Northern Colorado tonight in Fort Collins, and they're up 31-14. Those are the 2 games that interest me. Notre Dame lost today, so that's good.
That was probably the biggest upset of the day. Northern Illinois knocking off the Irish 16-14 on a last-minute field goal. Thunderbolts, or the Irish, actually had a 61-yard field goal attempt to try to win it, but it was blocked at the gun.
Penn State came back to win. They were down almost the entire game to Bowling Green. How about the Division II scoreboard?
Well, I was going to go to the RMAC right now, see what's happening there. Black Hills State defeated Southwest Baptist today. They were down early, but come back to win 24-14. Western New Mexico leads Adams State in the first quarter, 13-6. Midwestern State leads Western Colorado second quarter right now, 24-21.
Is that in Gunnison?
That is in Gunnison at the beautiful new stadium redo there in Gunnison. We'll be there later on in the season, so that's what's going on in the RMAC. Of course, there were games on Tuesday in the RMAC as Michigan Tech defeated South Dakota Mines 52-50. Chadron State defeated Jamestown 17-10. So Mines not in action. Didn't they play Thursday?
They did.
It's not showing up on my. Oh, yeah, okay, against West Texas A&M. It just took a while for it to load. 41-13, Mines defeated West Texas A&M. So that gets you caught up in the RMAC. You go to the top 25 today. There was one, I guess you'd call it an upset when a ranked team that's underneath gets beat, but I got to go down here and find it.
We have stats to this point if we want to go through that.
We could do that as well. Grand Valley State, who will be next week's opponent for the Thunderwolves, defeated Central State 58-0 earlier today. Or that was on Thursday night, beg your pardon. So now other games today. I'm trying to look. Slippery Rock, we always like to keep track of Slippery Rock. They won today over New Haven just because we remember that as kids. They used to put up that old college scoreboard on ABC where they went to the big board and they pointed out all the scores. They always had a Slippery Rock score on there. San Diego defeated Central Washington today. Central Washington playing up. They're out of the Lone Star. They lose to San Diego 26-7. Ferris State. Rumors that we might be going to Ferris State in the next couple years. They haven't finalized that. I don't know if they really want to, but that's kind of on the rumor mill.
Why, the Broncos busy?
Yeah, exactly. They defeat Lake Erie today 56-3. India, former playoff opponent for the Thunderbolts, defeated Hillsdale 42-16. Here is a crazy game going on right now against teams that we know about. Minnesota State, the 8th-ranked team in the country. It's a fourth quarter game right now against Bemidji State. Bemidji State leads them 29-28. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one as the night goes on. Fort Hays, another rumored opponent possibly for the Thunderbolts in future years. They're playing Missouri Western. They trail at halftime 13-10 in that game being played down in Hays, Kansas.
Did you get the Grand Valley score from Thursday night?
Yes.
They won big, and then they get a couple of days off to get ready to play here next.
Yeah, they'll be here next Saturday night. So 2 years ago when they came in here to play the Thunderwolves, the weather conditions were abysmal, if you remember. It was kind of an early September storm, and just wasn't a nice night. We're going to go ahead and get a timeout out of the way. We'll come back. We'll go into our halftime kind of commercial break situation here, get some of them out of the way. We'll have stats for you. That comes your way next. Right now, we're on a lightning delay here at the Thunderbolt with 2:57 to go in the second quarter. Thunderbolts lead at 29-9 on Fox Sports Pueblo. And welcome back to the Thunderbolt. Lightning delay, 29-9. Thunderbolts on top. Permian Basin has the ball in Thunderbolts territory pretty deep after a roughing or an interference call, rather. So they're going to be facing first down and 10 from, I believe, the 12-yard line, if I remember right. So that's where they'll have the ball with a chance to score here late in the first half. Here are the numbers from the first half, Joe. First downs, Permian Basin actually with more. It's 10-8. They have total offense.
It doesn't look right to me.
Yeah, it's not
they have
right.
net 4 yards passing, and that's not close to right.
These stats are not anywhere close right because they had 70-something on their first play from.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what.
Yeah, they're way off. So it's no use even reading those.
Yeah.
So we'll wait for those to get fixed. So no use going over this. Are the Thunderbolt stats right?
Well, Howard Russell has the one touchdown for 51 yards. Devin Larson is 10 of 17 with the one pick.
Yeah.
And the 2 touchdowns for 132 yards. That seems light.
Yeah. Retzlaff, 3 grabs, 2 touchdowns.
That's correct.
Tosca's 2 for 37. And Rakowski has 2 for 29.
Yes, it seems like that's ballpark correct.
Yeah, Larson 10 for 17, had the 1 pick, 132 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they have Dylan Graham 7 of 14 and 1 pick for 4 yards. That's not right.
Yeah, and the big wide receiver caught. They don't even have his touchdown on the sheet, which we know he had.
They have the long, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure what.
They don't even have his touchdown on the scoring plays here. All right.
Yeah.
We got work to do. And here the rain has just started to come down, Joe, so the storm has arrived as far as precipitation goes, and it looks like it's kind of coming in here, so I'm going to kind of lower the window, I think. Well, yeah, it's close enough. And we'll get our windows down so it doesn't get in on our equipment, but just kind of look up, and yep, there's the rain coming down. So haven't seen any flashes of lightning, but they're not going by that. They're going by their little thing that measures. Like Joe said, it's kind of a lightning bug app. And it's just like it's forming all of a sudden right over the top of us now that I'm looking. So that must be, I always say on these radar things, there's always a little bit of a delay. So 7:30, it's up to date, but the storm is kind of forming all around us, and it's starting to turn. We've got a little yellow cell just north of Pueblo, and everything's heading kind of southeast, right in the direction. The biggest cell is due west of us, but with the storms traveling southeast, we might luck out, but it looks like there's another one forming right behind it, north of Highway 50. So any way you slice it, we're going to be in the soup here for probably 45 minutes to an hour, if I had to guess, as far as when they go into these lightning delays and all that, because you got to have 30 minutes in between each one, right, Joe? After the if you have a one within
you have to be clear for 30 minutes.
So you got it, and each one each lightning strike you had, the clock restarts.
Yep.
At 30 minutes. So we are no stranger to these. Unfortunately, we did the old 2-hour delay down in Durango before.
That was a crazy game.
And the Thunderbolts ended up losing that one. We had a delay here. I can remember back even before I was doing the games. It was when I think Panhandle came in here, Joe, on a Saturday night, and it was about a 2-hour delay here. I mean, it rained like crazy that night. And but the game eventually got going again in front of pretty much friends and family. I stayed for the duration. I was here.
Oh, yeah.
That was before I was doing the games. So
I was here.
Yeah, you were working.
Yes.
And cussing because the deadline was coming. So by that point, you just say, heck, we're not going to get it in. We're going to go ahead and take another timeout here. Once again, we're in a lightning delay. 2:57 to go here in the first half. Thunderbolts lead it 29-9. Thunderbolts football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
We're up on a pretty good team.
Exactly.
And we're holding strong. Defense is tough. The offense is showing some life to where they're breaking off some big plays, and then they're also pounding it when they get close to the goal line. and we can start putting some field goals through the uprights.
Well,
So that's a big thing.
And I told Jim that the best part about this delay is our listenership has gone up exponentially.
It should.
for the remainder of this game. It was a good crowd to start, though. There was a nice red out. The entire west side of the stadium was almost full. The east side, you never know. You hope, but a good crowd to start the season against a very good team.
Well, we're going to pack this place. They talk about pack the house and back the pack. This is a challenge out to our whole community. We believe in serving our community. And so we're going to ask our community to come out and celebrate with us. And we love Pueblo in Southern Colorado. And this is just a unique opportunity for us to be able to connect the community with the university, everyone being able to celebrate, because these young student athletes that play all of our sports, that do all of our student activities, whether it's athletics, whether it's band, whether it's an art performance, whether it's something development in STEM field, they represent our community. And they are our liaisons and our ambassadors just to show the exceptional level of talent we have here at CSU Pueblo and the excitement that we have. And we see it on that field here tonight. It was electric. In the first 3 minutes, I think, how many points did we have?
Well, it was a crazy start.
There was like 3 touchdowns, I think.
It's hard to believe that there's still 2:57 to go
in the first half.
You mentioned ambassadors. Jim and I were talking. We played in the CSU Pueblo Athletic Golf Tournament yesterday.
Yes, thank you for being at the Thunderwolf Classic. Thank you.
And on all the holes, there were different sports represented in groups and cheer and dance. And I'll tell you what, some of the most engaging student athletes that are available, not just from CSU Pueblo, that are just great people, represented the university well yesterday. It was so much fun to talk to some of these kids, and they didn't just stand there, they engaged in the groups and had fun and showed personality and just were great ambassadors for the school.
Thank you for saying that, because when we're here as educators and people from the outside, as they see education, sometimes they focus on the discipline, the disciplines of academic areas, or they focus on the academics, or they focus on facts and figures or knowledge that they should have. Higher education is about the people.
Sure.
It's about shaping their futures, transforming these individuals to what they're going to do to go out into our communities to be good citizens, to push us forward and enhance all of our lives. And so when you talk about them, let's talk about the people. I often say the best part about Pueblo are the people. The best part about CSU Pueblo are our students, our employees. It's about the people. It's about you guys being here. You guys were dedicated to go all the way to Rapid City, South Dakota last week.
Well,
take that flight over, take that flight back, have some fun along the way. And then you're here tonight in the lightning, the rain. And what are you doing for our listenership? You're entertaining them and keeping them engaged. That's what we do here.
I'd like to say that you have a wonderful following in spite of us. But this was a great story. Yesterday we were on one of the holes, and you had 2 track athletes. One was a heptathlete, and she was from France. And I just said, how did you get here? I wanted to know that journey of how a heptathlete from France got here. And she talked about there's a portal, and then they send out emails and questionnaires, and then coaches started engaging, and then she gets emails back, and she goes, okay, what place looks interesting? And she goes, I saw the track. They sent me pictures of the track. They sent me pictures of Colorado. And she said, I want to go there. So she came. She's a very talented athlete. She gets here, and then the athlete that was with her said, well, I knew her, and she said this was a great place, so I came here because of her. Right. So that starts to spread exponentially. Yeah. Not from Pueblo to Paris, Texas to Paris, France. It just.
And I've been to all places.
I have too.
I've been to Pueblo. I've been to Paris, Texas. I've been to Paris, France.
I have too, and it's amazing how the people are just people.
People are people, and that's a great point what you said there. Ultimately, I think that's a foundation that we have here at CSU Pueblo. We are so diverse. We cover a whole spectrum, and there's not necessarily a particular emphasis benefit on one person or another. It's that people are people, and at the base of it, people want to connect, people want to help each other, people want to be kind, and we want to see how we develop people to move forward to be successful in the future.
Well, Armando, we had that long drive home last week from
Probably
the
longer
airport.
than you wanted, Jim.
I enjoyed every minute of it. I did not. I had nowhere to really be, and it was just fun being with you and getting to know you and your diverse background. I don't think people have any idea all the hats you've worn in your life, and to be a leader of young people, there's nobody better that I can think of than you with all of your everything you've done in your life. I mean, from starting in the farm, you've been in the federal government, you've been in education, you've been a teacher, you've been a radio, you've been a DJ at weddings.
And what are you, 10?
Yeah. And you have tremendous energy, and you have a laser focus for what you want the mission for CSU Pueblo to be. We kind of talked about it. There's certain young people you're not going to be able to target to want to come here, but you're focused on the kids that want to be here, and you want to develop that kind of student body, people that want to be here, want to do good work, and they know the opportunity is here for them. And I love that you
Jim,
have that mission.
Thank you. You are much too kind, but I very much appreciate your words. Well, I've done all that in my background. You think they would have found someone with a prettier face? So I got the face for radio. So I'm glad.
Well,
you
we
have
can
me on
speak for that.
tonight.
Yes.
Welcome to our world.
I am exactly in the place I need to be tonight. So thank you. But that is it, and that's exactly it, Jim. As I was sharing with you and Ben on the trip back, that's a focus, and I think that's really an area of leadership that I've brought to CSU Pueblo. Is we're looking for the profile of individual that fits CSU Pueblo and that CSU Pueblo fits them. And that's not for everyone. We know that. And there's been a student that comes to CSU Pueblo and for whatever reason hasn't stayed here. And I've had conversations with some of those that are going to leave CSU Pueblo, and I've really wanted to know and understand, why are you leaving? And they say they love it here. But there's nothing we can do because either Southern Colorado's not a fit. Pueblo, maybe isn't as big enough as they expect. Maybe they don't have a particular connection with an athletic program or an activity that we just don't offer. What I have found, it's not really anything that we're doing or not doing. It's aspects in our environment that we have no control over sometimes that they're leaving. So as I shared with you, our focus is to be that successful profile of a CSU Pueblo student. I really believe it's individuals who want to find a connection with others, want to be part of a diverse community from rural areas. And so Pueblo becomes that elevated step up. It's different. Not only in Pueblo do we have a Walmart, but we got a Target too, and a Ross. We got restaurants that not only stay open until 9 and 10, but 11 and midnight sometimes.
Exactly.
And so this becomes, coming from a rural community, Pueblo was the big city.
Yeah.
But when you see someone that comes down from Denver, Pueblo seems a little different. It's a little slow for them. It's not the same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So the rural populations are going to be there. Individuals across all of Southern Colorado, which fits that description. And then I really think it's a profile of communities elsewhere that are 75,000 or less and see Pueblo as that opportunity. Just as that young lady that you mentioned, seeing Pueblo, I don't know where she came from in France, but seeing Pueblo and say, there's opportunity there. There's intrigue there. There's fascination. I can develop and shape my life going forward to not only help myself, but help my family, help others, because we are experts to help individuals that are first generation. We are experts to help individuals that want to succeed where they didn't think they could succeed and find opportunity before. We are those experts. We give opportunity to where other people didn't believe there was opportunity. We are the university of that first opportunity, first access to go forward. So it's phenomenal. And you go down and take our football team, for example. There's many of them there that, come from just a diverse set of backgrounds. And it coalesces together into seeing success that you see there on the field. That's what CSU Pueblo offers.
Well, there are quite a few CSU Pueblo football players who could be at other places, including D1s.
Absolutely.
But they like the fit here. They like the welcome here. I know of at least 3 stories of people I know of, students who went to bigger universities, Colorado State, Northern Colorado, and they get up there and they found that they're too big. They don't fit. They get lost. It's not what they envisioned, the college life or whatever. And they come back here and they thrive.
And they don't have community.
No.
They don't have community. And so that's a big factor. And one of those universities up north may have Coach Prime. Well, they can have Coach Prime because we have Coach V. Hill. I love having Coach V. Hill. He is not only an amazing coach, he's an a builder of young men.
Right.
His point and focus is not only to see these young men succeed, but also that they're going to be successful husbands, fathers. They're going to be successful community members. That's wonderful. So
look what we got outside, Jim.
we got some activity, don't we?
We got some players.
Look what we got outside.
We're going to
All right.
play
We're
tonight.
gonna
We
start
said
warming up.
25 minutes. Here we go. Warm up.
I'm so enthralled by Armando's vision. I'm like,
I
oh
forgot
wait,
what's going on out there on the
we
field.
don't have to kill much more time. They're going to play football.
Well, this is what we're talking about. You talk about vision. The tangible results that you just saw from the vision I laid out from the beginning of our conversation is the vision you're going to see
Atta kid.
come out here
Yes.
at this university.
Love it.
CSU Pueblo is going to be that premier institution in Colorado that represents Pueblo in Southern Colorado.
Love it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
Go
Armando,
Pack.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, guys. You
All
guys
right.
are awesome. You guys are amazing. Not only are you patient, you're wise and handsome. And so any of you out there that are listening on the radio right now, you're missing a show because you got two of the best looking guys here in Pueblo, me excluded because I'm not one of them. And you're going to get them for the rest of the game and the second half.
All
So
right.
I'll turn it over to you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
There it is, the president. There it is, President Armando Valdez. He is always good for enthusiasm. Enthusiasms, right, Joe?
Enthusiasms.
Some
He's Al
enthusiasms.
Capone.
Yes, he is. He's the Al Capone
Of
presidents. He's going to make everybody like it or else. Oh, my, that was great. I just love chatting with that guy. That was that ride home last week from the airport. It was like the greatest hour and a half. And then we had dinner.
Well, he's got to come out of his shell a little bit.
Exactly. He's got to have a little bit more personality. Oh, my goodness. And to put a bow on the Joe, I was talking about Dewey, it's old man Dewey is the one that had the stint.
Oh, good for Dewey.
Yeah,
I love Dewey.
He's 88. He's a ticket holder still, and he's listening to the ball game tonight. So
You know what?
you didn't hear that part when I had to make that correction on the air when you were down there.
Dewey's one of my
recruiting.
favorite. When I was covering high school sports, and Dewey was one of the PA announcers. Love
Yeah.
being around Dewey.
Well, they actually lived down on Baylor on the curve
Sure.
on Baylor when I was up on the
When I was-
straightaway on Baylor.
And
There.
I was on Temple.
Right. Yeah. So we're all Sunset Parkers. Oh, we're proud of where we've been. Well, we got the good news is we've used up all of our spot load here tonight, so they're not going to take any more media timeouts. So once this game does get going again, they'll play out the final 2 minutes and 57 seconds of the first half. Permian Basin will have the ball 1st and 10 from the 12, I believe. Could be the 10. I think it's the 12 is where the line of scrimmage will be following the interference call. And you'll play out the final 2 minutes and 57 seconds of the first half. Stop after the gun goes off and then reset and then start the second half. Now, there is a lot of lightning, but it's way to the south now. It's kind of a beautiful light show we're getting out here. So if you're listening to the ball game, we welcome you to come on back to the Thunderbolt. If not, you can continue to listen to us call the ball game here. But I'm officially opening the window back up because I am ready to rock and roll here. Now, they've not put any time on the clock to decide how much more of this warm-up is going to be, but both teams are out going through some calisthenic drills, Joe, and just that's the key here is not to pull a muscle here this first little bit of the second half. Once the game gets going, it's warm enough still.
Oh, there was like a warm wind blowing with the rain, so it's not cold.
So I think we're going to be just fine here in this game. And once again, it's 29-9.
With Permian Basin moving.
And
So-
you're getting some more texts here. Thank you, President Valdez. Best university president yet. I concur there. And they got another person texting in. Class of 88 from then USC. I live in the Nashville area and always listen to you guys while watching the game stream on the RMAC network.
Nashville.
I listen to you guys all because the other broadcasts are frankly really, really suck.
Hey, nobody needs to quantify or qualify while they listen. We're just glad you do.
Thank you for your professionalism in making the game experience great. That's what we aim to do. We've been at it a long time. We've had a lot of experience and a lot of practice.
If you only knew the amount of miles Jim and I have traveled since 2007 starting this, plus plus all the TV we've done together and shows and we had a sports television show for a while.
We did.
You
I still have copies of that
Steel
in my
City
basement.
Sports.
I should resurrect those and put those out. That'd be kind of fun. Put those on YouTube.
It's just kind of funny that we've been doing that this long. So when people say, well, yeah, we've been to the Meat Institute in Alva, Oklahoma. Okay,
Yes, indeed.
we have seen that. We've been pulled over literally by a guy that was Barney Fife in Kansas.
That was
We
crazy
have
too.
literally done that. We have eaten at what was our favorite place in Canyon, Texas? The barbecue
Big
place.
Bubba's or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, that was great.
And the Big Texan in Amarillo and
I tell people one of the biggest regrets of my life, Joe, is not keeping a journal. You know, there's some people. I remember the golfer Fitzpatrick from England. He writes down every shot, chronicles every round. Our old buddy George Stark, who has that book out that he's written, and I've got a couple of reviews on my YouTube channel there too. I need to do some more promotion of that. But anyway, George has chronicled every round of golf he has played for the last 25, 30 years, and he writes everything down. And I can only imagine if you and I, if it just take, after each day, just take a minute to write down the highlights of the day. That would have been just a great thing for just you and I to go back over, but I think it would have probably been entertaining for some of the people. But that's how people have more vision than we do to write books like that. And talk about their travels throughout.
I want you
everywhere.
to tell people that are listening, how many tickets have I talked my way out of?
Oh, it's double digits.
Jim has been with me, and he's like, every time it happens and I get away, and I'm honest with anybody that pulls me over. I don't try and I don't lie. I tell them what's going on. I said I'm sorry, but I remember I was doing about 95 coming into Cheyenne, and this state trooper pulled me over, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was honest with her. I said, "We're just trying to get the hell home. We've been driving for 10 hours. We got another 4 to go." She goes, "All right, go."
Exactly, and I think there's only one that you've ever whiffed on, and that was
Officer Torres.
Officer Torres,
Silver City, New Mexico,
the most beautiful state patrolman in the history of state patrolmen, but she was not taking any of the story that Joe was trying to convey to her.
No, she was a state trooper in New Mexico, and she pulled me over because I apparently ran a stoplight on the way out of town. And Silver City at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's like, come on. And she said that state troopers in New Mexico are not allowed to issue warnings.
Yeah.
So she said, if we pull you over for a violation, we have to ticket you. And she was very apologetic, but it was still $50.
Well, I think the difference in that whole trip, though, is we had Dale Cresswell. He's like the Black Cloud.
That was the longest trip
Black
ever,
Cloud
though.
of road trips, right? That was the trip after we did the Bell game or Canning game. Which was it?
It was the Bell game. We broadcast the Bell game live from Dutch Clark Stadium on TV. And we thought, and all games in Silver City, New Mexico are at noon because they don't have lights.
Right.
So, and they won't want teams to get home. So we left Dutch Clark Stadium at 10:30 or 11.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, I'll take the first shift to Albuquerque. I mean, I felt like Bugs Bunny.
Yes, exactly.
And so we pulled off in Albuquerque, had to find a place to get gas, which is not easy. And then the next shift, I believe, was either you or Dale. And Dale was falling asleep several times, which I'm surprised we didn't end up in a ditch. Dale refused to turn his brights down.
Yeah, ultimately, Dale Cresswell, when he drives along, he has the brights on, and the people are coming the other way flashing him, and he goes,
screw them.
Yeah, screw 'em. What are they going to do? What are they going to do, chase us down? Yeah. I'm just leaving the brights on. Yeah. So he's that guy. So when you're driving down the road in Pueblo and somebody has the brights on and they don't turn them off, it's Dale. It's Dale, but we love Dale. So, but then I got the last shift. I drove it in that last little bit. Oh my God, I was on fumes.
And these are the stories we have because we get to Silver City. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. Right. And you don't get to check into a hotel at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we pull in the hotel, and I explain the situation to the lady at the front desk, and she's like, boys, here's your rooms. I'll leave the breakfast out for you. Make sure you get some food. Go up and take a nap before you go to the stadium. I'm like, okay, this is the nicest lady ever. Yeah.
Well, I can remember the stop when we were on our way to Kearney, and remember I had the NASCAR jacket.
Oh, had to buy one. You didn't bring a coat.
Didn't bring a coat. Forgot.
He had every logo you could possibly have on that jacket. Bought it at like not a Love's. It wasn't even. It was like
Flying W or one of those truck stops
it was
out
awesome.
there.
Jim had to buy a coat, and it was a NASCAR coat.
Oh, and that ended up being one of the great trips ever because the Thunderwolves ended up beating Kearney and won the conference championship.
I remember we were in the Lincoln, the Cloud.
Yes.
Driving back from, I want to say Alva, Oklahoma, or one of those. And we were going to Dodge City. That's where we got the hotel room. It was in Dodge City. And I hit something.
Raccoon.
A critter. Yes.
Yeah.
I hit a critter in a Lincoln. And all we did was look back, and there was just fur everywhere. And I was like, I don't know what it was. It made a loud noise. I felt bad. But I didn't feel bad enough to stop. So.
Joe, I got another comment from a listener that they're pointing out something you pointed out to me during a timeout earlier, talking about who is the new PA guy at CSU Pueblo. This guy, he kind of makes me feel inferior. He puts the you-know-what in you-know-what.
Well,
when we talk about it from the diaphragm, he's got it from a little bit lower.
We've done this for so long that we've heard great announcers. And we know, Alan Roach is obviously the best of the best of the best. But this new public address, we'll have to get his name. He is fantastic.
Yeah, he is unbelievable. Of course, Dave Miller, all those years, finally said, you know what, I'm hanging it up. And he's a tough man to follow, but they found a guy that I don't know if they can keep around very much longer because he sounds like he's right out of casting, We'll have to get his name, but that's from Chris Slobodnik checking in there. Chris, we don't know his name, but we do agree.
That's the first thing we noticed.
He has got quite the voice. That's for sure. It's from way down here, He's when I'm talking about way down, Joey's way down there. So there's a certain element of your body that you have that enables you to have a voice like that. Of course, Alan Roach, we're talking about up there in Denver, you hear his voice when you're in the airport when you come in. The next stop is the A gate.
Well, he was so good that he does all the All-Star games.
Yeah, he's
Super
national.
Bowls,
he's
A-lister.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere that his ultimate job, and it may be his permanent job, is the play-by-play voice or PA voice of the Vikings.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's where he fly. They fly him back there every home game, and he goes back and does it. But like you mentioned, he does all the big events too. They bring him in for the All-Star
game.
And
what? I've met him several times. He's a great guy. It's funny though when you've done this as long as I have. Before anybody knows you, that's when you sit and have dinner with them in a media room and just shooting the bull with just regular people. I remember I had dinner one time at the Broncos Stadium with Amy Trask. She's the most powerful woman in sports. And I'm just sitting at the table with her, and she's just engaging. She has asked where I'm from, Pueblo, and talked all about it. And I'm realizing that she's the number 2 at the Raiders behind Al Davis, who was still alive at the time.
Yeah.
And at the time, Amy Trask was the most powerful woman in sports.
This will be just a 30-second timeout. Now, the new rules with the 2-minute warning, if they did not get the media timeout in the 5-minute to 2-minute window, then they take a full-blown media timeout here. But since we're out of all that, we don't have to worry about that the rest of the night. This will just be a quick little 30-second administrative timeout. And on 4th down and 5 here, Permian Basin will go for it here.
Wouldn't you kick this, though, if I were you? Just to have the points?
It's right in between there, isn't it? You're down.
You can still get a first down, though. Yeah. So there is that. But
that's why that was a pretty big play there to gain as much yardage as they did there on 3rd down. Gaining, what did they gain there? They gained close to 9 on the play. Makes it manageable here. If they throw an incomplete pass there, then, you're going to kick the field goal. But now when you got 4th and 5 from the 7-yard line, the first down and goal would be at the 2. You're down 20. That's why they go for it. Trips to the right, single wide out left. So single coverage at the top. That's their home run hitter, Jeremiah Cooley.
And Graham may call his own number here too. Soft coverage on the wide out.
They run the option play to the left. Quarterback keeps it, puts his head down. He's short.
Did not get there.
He stopped at the 3-yard line. The ball goes over on downs. He's sold out there to Dylan Graham, but the Thunder will stop him a yard short of the first down. So a big defensive stand by the Pack.
Couldn't have scripted it any better, Jim. If you're CSU Pueblo's defense, you could not have scripted that any better.
But now Permian Basin, do they have 2 timeouts, Joe, or 3?
They took one, I know.
So they have 2. So the Thunderbolts cannot run the clock out here to end the half. So Permian Basin going to probably get the ball back, barring the Thunderbolts getting a first down, of course. The ball spotted right at the 3-yard line. First down for the Thunderbolts, leading at 29-9, a minute 56 to go here in the first half. Defense tied up on the line of scrimmage, as tight as they've been all night, because they know the Thunderbolts probably just going to run the football here. They give it to Russell, and he puts his head down, and he wedges forward to about the 6. Permian Basin does not take the timeout here. So the Thunderbolts should just go back in the huddle, although they come right up on the line of scrimmage.
Well, they can use some,
But
they
they
can
can
burn
just-
30 seconds
Yeah, they
here.
can just sit there and watch the play clock.
And if the next play is no good, then you'll burn a timeout.
So we're
Now we're
down.
going to sit here and we can fill more time now at 20 seconds because they're just going to milk the clock.
Minute 25 to go, 15 on the play clock. Thunderbolts do not take all the time off. They're going to throw a pass out in the flat. It's caught to the tight end, Dvorsky. He breaks a tackle, gets forward to about the 8. But the Thunderbolts they leave 15 seconds on the bone there, Joe. I don't quite know why they didn't take that all the way down. So now the timeout is taken by Permian Basin.
That's a nice catch by Tyler Dvorak, but again,
why not take all the time off the clock?
way
I don't
down.
get that. So the lightning is just flashing all around the area to the south and east of it. It's quite amazing.
there is a red ticket, 1679-41.
Red ticket 1679-41. Please report to the Southwest.
There's your, we had a question that came into us earlier. Are they still going to do the 50-50 raffle? There's your answer.
1679-41, red ticket.
Okay, so whoever's listening, if you have that ticket, report back to the stadium.
Well, and that's funny because you must be present to win. You
Yeah,
got
so
to turn in the
you're
ticket.
going to have to get your behind back here to collect on that.
You're in your
Give it
night.
to it one more time, Joe.
That would be 1679-41, a red ticket. For
Thank
those
you very
of
much.
who bought the 50-50, and there's a few diehard souls here.
1:14 to go here in the first half. Game that started at 6:02, 3 hours and 7 minutes ago. Now the Thunderbolts are going to run a little spread formation here. Trips to the right, single wide out left. I'm thinking quarterback draw here myself. With a minute 14 to go. Take the snap, straight drop back. There it is, quarterback draw. Joe, I'm a genius. But you let your quarterback get hit pretty good there. Now Permian Basin will take their final timeout with a minute 9 to go. So Thunderbolts have to punt the ball away. So Permian Basin get another shot at it, another crack at it here late in this first half.
You know, Reagan Baker is one punter who is a Aussie. You know, they have that rugby style. It might come in handy right now. The wind, it looks like it's swirling.
Yeah, it's kind of the straps are actually going to favor the Thunderbolts here on this punt attempt. Remember, the wind to start the game was coming out of the east. Then the storm came in. It was coming out of the north. But wind shifting all over the place here.
A lot of crickets from the Dion faithful right now, Jim, that normally
Yeah,
text
exactly.
me about how great he is, are awfully quiet.
What's it? Is it 28-10 or is it increased?
It was 28-10's the final.
That's the final. Okay.
And everybody's like, oh, the defense played great. Okay,
Yeah, whatever.
sure.
All right, 4th down, punt situation here. Good snap. Kick is away. High booming
Good
kick.
kick.
The wind has got it. Fair catch signaled for it. No, he doesn't make the grab. It goes over his head. Now a flag comes down.
That's got to be.
Ball's going to roll all the way back to the 20-yard line. The flag is down here at midfield. Boy, that referee sailed that flag about 30 yards in the air.
It looked like a shuttlecock.
It did, flying across there. What's this going to be?
It's got to be illegal contact on CSU Pueblo. How? That's like a 1,000,000-yard punt.
And it all the way down to the 19-yard line. So the line of scrimmage was the 7. So 43 and 32, Joe, is 75, right?
75-yard punt, no return.
But now, what are we going to get here? What is this call going to be? I mean, this is just got to be one of those most creative calls in the history of creative calls. Phil Feal is out on the field beside himself. Personal foul, illegal block of some kind against the Thunderwolves. Blocking the man out of bounds, perhaps? Phil Vigil is just irate with the side judge here, the man that wears S on his back. So now they mark that off from the end of the punt. So instead of the 19-yard line, it should come out to the 34, I believe, is where they'll spot it.
At least they didn't make him re-kick it.
Yeah, that would have been really damaging. So that's another one of those calls. We always like talking to Phil. We like to bait him into talking about the officials.
Jim lets him get. Phil doesn't know Jim like he needs to know him. But Jim always wants to try and get some officiating talk out of him. Phil was very good about it this week.
He just,
never mind.
Just kind of holds back.
Yep.
Here is they fake the reverse. Pitch it back. It's on the ground. It's covered up, though, by who? Looks like Permian Basin got on it. That was a pitch to nowhere. And it almost blew up in the face. It ends up being a loss of about 10 on the play, maybe 11, all the way back to the 23-yard line.
They may go into victory formation.
Yeah, we're down to 32 seconds to go. They have no timeouts left. Joe, I want to point out, remember all those illegal formations the Ravens were getting the other night? They line up in illegal formation. Their right tackle is off the line of scrimmage. That should be a penalty. See how he's lined up? Does that every time. Here's the handoff up the middle. They gain all of the lost yardage back, almost all of it. They get a 10 on the play. It's going to be third down now. Time is down to 8 seconds. They're going to try to get one more play off here on 3rd down and 12.
You better not give one up here.
1 second. They do get it off. Here comes the rush. Avoids the rush. Now just throws it away. Out of bounds. Halftime. Flag is down in the middle of the field. Going to be a hold of some kind here against Permian Basin. Yep, so the half can end on a penalty on the offense, so that's what's going to happen here. And remember, it's halftime, but they're just going to change ends and start the second half immediately here, maybe after a 2-minute little just administrative deal.
Unless you want to push them back.
Holding on Permian Basin. Penalty declined. End of the first half. So now the teams will gather around the sideline. We'll have a kickoff.
Permian Basin will get the ball back.
Yeah. So all in all, that turns out a pretty good end of the first half of the Thunderwolves, preventing them from scoring. You keep your 20-point lead.
Exactly, knowing where. Hey, first to goal on the 12.
Yes.
Well, that's a great defensive stand.
The holding call against Permian Basin really, really helped things out there. So we got a 3-minute break here before the second half starts. And we got another listener, Joe, chiming in here. As a former Silver City resident, the deputies around Deming, New Mexico also show no mercy.
Yeah. And you know what? She couldn't have been more polite. And
yes, she was. She was the nicest.
This is what I tell people about Silver City. It's a great little town. It's an art town.
You just got to get there.
But we're never there long enough to enjoy it. Usually you go down a day before. We'd go down a day early, cover the game, and then drive back. Because it's 10 and a half, no matter what you do. It's I-25 to Hatch. And you take a right.
Yeah, and then it's just desolate in that little area. But once you get there, it's we've had some of the most fun we've ever had once you get to Silver. You just got to get there.
Well, it's kind of fun because, we were with Risto the whole time. And that's his least favorite place
that's where
on
he
the
got
planet.
hurt.
That's where he got hurt when he was at college. So he won't even stay in Silver City. He won't because he's so disappointed when he has PTSD from when he was a player. And he was like, I just refuse.
I've also got a couple of basketball memories from Silver City, New Mexico. As we had a little 3-minute tier before the second half starts, but it's the only place I ever saw a head coach take a charge. That was when Ralph Turner was trying to get a technical. The referee would not give him the time of day, so finally Ralph just stepped out onto the court, and the referee plowed over him. He took the charge. The referee goes, well, I got to give you the technical now. You're out on the court. Ralph said, I've been trying to get a technical. What you got to give it to me? The other one was a basketball call I had. This is way back when I was traveling with Dave Socher. That's when Dragmeister was the head coach down at Western New Mexico. They had me set up in my booth. I was right on the baseline. So a guy from Western New Mexico drives the baseline, and my call was, let's just say Smith. Smith steps out of bounds, steps back in bounds, dunks it home. because it was right in front. He was out of bounds.
Yeah.
He stepped out of bounds, stepped back in bounds, dunked it. The referee just ignored it. That's when you know your geography call. You're down in Silver City. You're not going to get the call. It just went down the other way, but it was one of the most – I can still see it to this day when the guy stepped out of bounds, stepped back in bounds, and dunked it.
Well, and Silver City, for those obscure movie buffs out there, that was the destination of Rat Race when they were trying to get the money for Rat Race.
Yes.
And a little shout out to Joe Wiseman. I don't know if you know Anthony Wiseman and
Yes.
Chris Wiseman. Their brother Joe comes in every year to play in the Italian Invitational.
Okay.
And he lives in Silver City.
Nice. It's like once you're there,
No, it's a great place
it's
there.
a nice little place.
You do have to go through Hatch, and when you go through Hatch, you do have a Pueblo chip on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
You just because you do.
Yeah. Well, we were there's a couple of members of I think they're named. They're on the cross country team. One of them is from New Mexico. So one of our guys asked, "Well, which is it? Hatch Chili's or Pueblo Chili's?" He goes, "Hatch."
Yeah.
But he was loyal to his state.
Sure.
Thank you. There's our stats, Joe, our halftime stats. And looks like they
Did they fix the passing? No.
they did not fix that. They still got it for minus 16. So we're
Yeah.
gonna have to point that out to.
So the passing yards for not good.
So that's a computer thing. They're gonna have to go in and do an entry there. But everybody just jumped all over because everybody's like, "Hey, you gotta be kidding!" I said, no, I kind of pulled him aside. I go, you know what? I don't know. Chili's, it's Chili's not chili, but the Pueblo Chili's meatier. He goes, they're too sweet.
Too sweet. It's hotter than Hatch.
I go, too sweet.
Yeah.
Is that because they got a lot of meat on them? Here's the kickoff and rolls into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So Permian Basin will start the second half from their own 25-yard line.
Evan Lyons, he kicked the hell out of the ball in the first half. That one kind of squibbed. It was lucky that it went out of bounds in the end zone. But that's the opening kick of the second half.
Yes, exactly.
It's only 9:19. It's like nothing happened, Jim.
Joe, did you notice they fixed the windows this year?
Yeah.
They actually fixed the one that was the guillotine, almost chopped my finger off last year. That was the main one we were concerned about, but they go all the way up now. It's nice. Going to run a little delay here, and it goes nowhere.
No, not going to happen.
And on the stop there, that's Turrentine for the Thunderwolves. I got to get it from James exactly. I haven't talked to him personally. I've always called him Turrentin. I've heard Turrentine. They don't have it on the pronunciation chart. I'm going to have to go to the source.
I think it's Turrentine. And he's a monster. Nose tackle.
Second down and 15. Here comes pressure up the middle. Gets the pass away. Boy, that was dangerous. It's caught behind the line of scrimmage and a loss of 3 on the play. That was nearly intercepted. Somehow, if that receiver, he snared it out of midair there, Joe. I mean, if it gets by him, it's going to be a pick six. That was an incredible catch.
Well, and Peyton Shaw was in coverage, but he was starting to jaw on his way back out. And one of the assistant coaches from CSU Pueblo grabbed him and said, "Stop jawing."
So
secondary, you got to love these guys.
Deion Cook, the receiver there, loses 2 on the play. It's 3rd and 17. The possession going nowhere so far. 5 wideouts. Here's a stun up the middle. The Thunderwolves get home. Guess who, Joe?
Micaiah Scipio, maybe?
It is Scipio again. On the stunt.
That was Micaiah Scipio. With
Yeah,
the
Scipio. I heard on the PA guy said, well, he doesn't always see the right place.
Well,
Sounds great.
They have a spotter. So
yeah, the spotter might have got it to him
that,
wrong.
But that was Micaiah Scipio.
Yeah, it was 20, not 90.
No doubt.
And that was a beautiful stunt by the Thunderwolves. Your tackle goes outside, then end stunts into the inside, right into the gap, and hauled him down. All the way back at the 6-yard line. Thunderwolves are across the line of scrimmage here. That's going to be they call it in college now a delay of game play instead of encroachment. I saw that signal earlier in the game. Well, now they do give the offside. Remember in the early game he called it delay? Is it because
they might be barking sometimes when you see that? Is that's what delays the game.
Okay.
I saw that on a couple of calls on TV that, the linebackers yelling something or whatever.
Drawing them off somehow. Okay, I got you. All right. So it's 4th down and 24 from the 11. High snap, but it's handled. Boy, they come through there, but gets the kick away. Low kick. Wynn knocks it down, hits at the 45, now rolling backwards and down to the 44-yard line. So Thunderwolves with great field position. A chance to effectively put this game away here on this drive with 13-17 to go in the third quarter. It's 29-9, Thunderwolves on top.
Zach Rakowski did a great job of telling everyone to stay away from that punt. And, they yelled at fire, 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 so everybody looked up. The orange ticket, 885542, is now the new winner.
Yeah, because the other one was not here.
885542.
So if you're listening to the game and left and you have that ticket, you got
It's an orange
15 minutes to get back here to the Thunder Bowl. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. A little counterplay reverse. Here's Nigel Mitchell around the 40, 35. Hurdles a man down to the 31-yard line. Great run there by Nigel Mitchell on the reverse.
Nigel Mitchell is one of the fastest guys at CSU Pueblo. He's a track athlete. He got hurt last year, but his speed is back.
Remember, he got injured a year ago celebrating a touchdown.
Yeah, dumbest injury ever. They do that jump up and
Thunderwolves fake it. They're going to go for it all. Left side, up in the air, incomplete. They were trying to get it to Toscas.
Maybe not the best decision from Devin Larson on that one because the corner had safety help that way, so he was basically threw that into double coverage.
These cornerbacks are notably better than the South Dakota Mines cornerbacks. They're more physical.
And bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, they were midgets. Oh, you can't see. Little people.
Little people, yeah. Second down
Not
at 10.
officially. They were just small.
Second down at 10 from the 31.
Short.
Fake it.
Again.
Going for Rakowski. And that one's incomplete. Double coverage there.
We got a fan out there said run the play.
He might be a coach to the next of us here. I think maybe in the stand.
Maybe.
Or in the we can hear over everybody.
Doesn't just love to throw the ball as far as you can. Our good friend Carlos Mays, the old East quarterback. Just get open. What was the jet set? What was that call? Just get open.
Love Carlos. That's another one of our memories. See, that's one thing you just write it down to say, that was the Carlos Mays game.
Yeah, what play was that called? Just get open.
3rd and 10 for the Pack from the 31-yard line. Here's pass right side, caught by the tight end. And getting forward is Dvorak to about the 26-yard line. He'll be 5 yards short of the first down. 4th and 5. Thunderbolt's not going to kick the field goal. They've had all kinds of issues.
Well, and you're in no
You're
man's
kicking a
land.
field goal. It's a scoring play for the Permian Basin,
You're
perhaps.
in no man's land.
So 4th and 5 from the 26.
Capuch punt it.
Russell the back on the left hip here of Larson. Dvorak in motion now. The Thunderbolt's going to take a timeout. So they want to talk this one over here. So the Thunderbolts, their brain trust thinking, man, we get a score here. This game's almost effectively over. But if you don't score here, it's that uneasy feeling being 3 touchdowns up, Joe, because you're 1 touchdown away from being only 2 up, and then it's trouble. It just gets to be a game again.
This is where I have a hard time with taking shots all the time.
Yeah.
You have a chance to grind the clock, get out of this game, and you take a shot. Then you throw into double coverage. Then you come back, and you basically throw the same thing to the smaller receiver.
Yeah, if you're covering up that deep stuff, which they're doing pretty well, then find somebody underneath. You got to have somebody kind of a layered route or something like a safety valve. But they do like to take shots. That's their mentality. And when it works, it's a beautiful thing. But when it doesn't, then you end up in tough situations. Retzlaff is in the slot to the right.
Which is basically single coverage, so if you want to go that route.
Toscas in a short slot to the left. Also Russell the back. Now Russell will shift back into the backfield. Straight drop back. Russell's open, and he threw it behind him.
And Devin Larson was like, they were not on the same page. He thought he was going to go up, even though that was underthrown by 5 yards.
So it goes over on downs there. It's almost like he was expecting a wheel route, and when he didn't run the wheel route, then Larson said, I got to just throw it because I don't have any time. He just threw it into the turf to avoid throwing an interception.
Now you call upon your defense again to get another stop. Just can't put them away.
11:52 to go here in the third quarter. It's 29-9. Thunderwolves on top. Here's the handoff up the middle, and one of the most effective runs of the night for Corey Harris. Gets forward for about 8. Out to the 34-yard line. It'll set up 2nd down and 2. He did have a run of about 11 or 12 in the first half, if I remember right. He's going to get it again this time. He's got the first down. He's across the 36 to the 37-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons. One of the new timing rules in college football here the last couple years, they do not stop the clock on first downs to move the chains until after the 2-minute warning. Then timing changes. Remember, it used to always stop on a first down. That's why college football games got to last 4 hours in some times. Pass left side, back shoulder throw incomplete. Good coverage over there by the Thunderwolves. Donovan English. These cornerbacks very impressive for the Thunderwolves. They've already had a couple of interceptions tonight. Peyton Shaw had one of them, and of course McCaney with a pick 6. What's really, when you look back on it, Joe, that's one of the huge plays of the game was that pick 6. Just kind of changed the whole complexion of things.
Well, and Eli Pittman's a veteran, so they all get a lot of time.
And here is the handoff to the reserve tailback. Breaks a tackle, gets up the sideline. He's got the first down across midfield into Thunderwolves territory down to the 48-yard line. That's Camden Tyler. He broke a tackle right at the point of attack, able to get outside. Nobody home there for the Thunderwolves. So it's 1st and 10 Falcons into Thunderwolves territory at the 48-yard line. We're down to 10:30 to go here in the third quarter. 29-9. Thunderwolves lead it. Straight drop back by Graham. Steps up in the pocket, comes over the middle, incomplete. Boy, he had him open on a crossing route there, trying to get it to Deion Cook. Just led him too far. I don't know if that wind playing little tricks with that little pass over the middle. It's blowing pretty good out of the north right now. The wind's been shifting here after the storm has left us.
You know his name we have not called much tonight, which is surprising, is Daniel Bone. And I'm trying to see if he's even out there.
Yeah, I don't see him on this set at all. Here they're going to run the ball around the right side. Nice cut back inside, and they get about 7 on the play down to the 41-yard line. This back's giving him a little good burst here, Camden Tyler. Mark his knee down back at the 42, so to be a gain of 6. It's 3rd and 4 now for the Falcons.
Gain of 5 on the play, tackled by number 3, Daniel Bone.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Bone got the tackle, so he is out there just hiding. Yeah, he's up on the right side. There, I see him. Okay. He just hasn't been up there being a menace along the line of scrimmage. He's been back there more as a playing
as a
safety.
Yeah, he's playing his position as a safety.
And they run the quarterback follow play, wedging his way forward short of the first down. Back
by
at
2
the
yards.
40. Yeah, his knee was down. So Graham gets the spot at the 40. It's 4th down and 2. 4-down territory here for the Falcons.
I think Graham's comfortable calling his own name or his own number. He's done that a few times now, and it just gets just enough. Keep you honest.
Pretty physical runner.
Yeah.
He's acquitted himself
Well, he's not a
fairly
bad
well.
player
Thrown a couple
at all.
picks,
I mean,
though.
this guy is a decent quarterback.
Just a couple of bad decisions, and they've been very costly, which have directly led to 2 Thunderwolves touchdowns. Here's the handoff around the left side. They stop him short. Ball's going to go over on downs. They hand it around the left side to Corey Harris, and he gets no gain and has to like it.
Caden Rulo again coming up big. Noah Purcell comes up big. Gary Seidenberger comes up big.
Caden Rulo's quietly becoming a pretty big force on this defense, isn't he?
You know, Daniel Bone gave me that name. He goes, I go, who's the heir apparent? You know,
Yeah.
Corey, you know, you came out. There's always an heir apparent. He just kind of said, keep an eye on this Caden Rulo.
So the ball goes over on downs to the Thunderwolves. They take over at their own 40-yard line, leading the game 29-9.
See if they try and shorten this game just a little bit by running the football a little bit.
And they're going to fake the reverse. They give it to Russell. Nice cut back inside across the 45 to the 48-yard line.
7-yard gains will do that.
Joe, you can tell I kind of like the running game, don't you? I just love watching great backs do their thing. 2nd down and 3. Give it to Russell, another hard run. This time he gets what was there, and that's the 1st down. He just gets forward, takes what they give you. They're going to put his knee down here.
They put him a yard
That's not
short.
the umpire tax. That's the side judge tax.
Yeah, I think he might have been down and squirted forward a little bit.
Yeah, okay, so he's down at the 49. So it sets up 3rd down and 1.
3rd down.
That line judge getting an earful from the defensive coordinator over there on the sideline for Permian Basin.
Maybe that's why he came a yard short.
Now Thunderbolts taking their time here. 3rd and a yard. Give it to Russell. Cuts back inside. He's short. They're going to mark him right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th and a yard here.
You got to kick it.
Russell carries through short game.
You know, one of my pet peeves in life is short yardage from the gun.
Shotgun. Yeah.
It just gives that defense a little bit of a chance.
Well, that
It takes away the quarterback sneak. You just can't. They can't stay on. They have to. You can't keep them honest that way.
You know, just ask Bob Stitt.
Yeah.
When he brought mines down here and they got stopped on the goal line, they had 4th and a foot on the goal line. They went from the gun, and CSU Pueblo beat them.
Punt formation. Boomed. Fair catch signaled for, but it lets it hit at the 1, and it bounces into the end zone. Just didn't have enough backspin on it there. Regan Baker, the punter for the Thunderwolves, the Aussie.
We gain about 30 yards in field position. Flip the field just a little bit.
Into the end zone for a touchback.
Again, but you're asking your defense again to come up big.
Yeah,
The
just not
offense
enough time running off the clock, is there? It's
No.
It's at
And a new 50-50
7:12 to go. Here's another 50-50 raffle.
Blue 18-44-38. Blue ticket 18-44-38. They're determined to give some money away.
Yep. You got to be present to collect. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Falcons. Man in motion. That's Absek. They fake the reverse, stepping up in the pocket, firing up the left sideline. It is Absek, and he has got it. He catches the ball somehow.
No, he did not catch it.
Now the officials come up to talk. They signaled catch.
No, he came back and the official looked again, and he did not catch the ball. And the officials are trying to talk their way into one.
Yep, okay. There's the overrule.
He did not catch the ball.
So that was Absek. He came in motion, the slot man, and he raced up the sideline. He was
they're
open.
challenging it. They threw out the challenge flag. It's up on this big screen. And when he came down with the ball.
So they'll have to go 90 yards here. Down 29-16 are the Falcons. But they have to feel like they've gotten that call from the governor. They've won the appeal, and now they've had a chance to save their lives.
When we talking about road trips, that was the other one. Sam Houston State.
Yes.
You know, we're in the press box of Sam Houston State, and we're in Huntsville, Texas. That's where they execute people.
Yeah, you can see the execution
you could see the chamber from the booth. That was a little creepy.
That was. As was the 100-foot tall statue of Sam Houston.
And then the head.
Play action, yeah. Pass up the right side, and that's thrown to no one in particular.
Remember they had Sam Houston statue, and then they had it was like a head that they didn't either need or was old.
It was like an extra head.
Just we have an extra head of Sam
Houston.
Houston.
Mount here in the park. 2nd down and 10 from the 10-yard line. Trips to the left, single wide out right. That man to the right, Jeremiah Cooley, with 2 touchdowns tonight. Low snap, but it's handled by Graham. Now rolls to the right, pass up the sideline. That's incomplete. He just threw that one away. He was trying to get it to Corey, or throw it in the area, Corey Harris, the running back who leaked out of the backfield.
Noah Purcell has to take another play off because of his helmet. Noah's got to get a better chin strap. I think this is the 3rd time tonight.
Pass is incomplete. 3rd down.
And he's smiling. He says, I had him.
3rd and 10 now for the Falcons. 14:03 to go. Boy, the clock just not going anywhere on this drive.
Huge play for the Thunderbolts right here defensively.
5 wideouts. Pressure up the middle. Pass right side. It's caught, but it's short of the first down. And he's going to be 2 yards short at the 18. Had to come back for it, did Cooley. But in coming back for it, he's short of the first down. They got to punt the ball away here. 4th and 2 from the 18.
Again, defense comes up.
The clock should be running right here. He went out of bounds. Once you're back, the ball's set. We've had issues with the timekeeper this entire ball game.
Well,
here.
they're going on the old rules.
Now they wind it. You got to wind the clock instantly when the ball's ready for play.
Especially tonight.
Exactly. And especially when you're leading by 13. You got to have your hometown crew, man, running that clock down there. Low snap, but it's handled, a grounder. Punt is away. Fair catch signaled for by Rakowski. Takes it at the 37-yard line. So the Thunderbolts offense will take over there, leading the ball game 29-16 with 13:32 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's time for one of those 4 first-down drives, punch it into the end zone, put the game away drive. That's what you want right here for the Pack.
I'm all for it.
What Permian Basin wants is a little 3 and out, get the ball back to your offense in a little bit better field position, and get a quick score and have hopes of winning the game. This drive could go a long way toward telling us who's going to win this game here. And they give it up the middle, and Russell's hit pretty hard. Had a good burst there to get through the initial wave, but only gets 2 out to the 39. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Jaden Jones still not out there, so I think he's done for the night if he's not out there on a drive like this.
That's their big right tackle.
He's holding his helmet. He's right behind the near side down marker.
2nd and 8 for the Pack.
When 6'6", 280 is not in the game, you notice.
Russell in motion to the right side. They fake the flip to him. Now they look down the right sideline. Retzlaff's got it inside the 40. Stays on his feet. Now it takes about 5 guys to haul him down, but he's going to get a 1st down and 10 for the Thunderbolts down to the 40 or 37-yard line of the Falcons.
Well, they want to go hurry up when they get first downs down the field. They're already up to the line of scrimmage, especially at this altitude.
Wide receiver screen to Retzlaff, puts his head down. Physical run there inside the 30. Might have stepped out of bounds here at the 31, they're going to say.
Reggie's fired up.
Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Now quad box here to the right, a diamond formation. Single wide out left. Now they say slow things down here. Let's get things set here. Let's figure out what we want to do.
Changing it to trips.
Yeah, because now Russell goes back into the backfield. Now they get out of their little stack. Now they just line up 3 across here on the right side.
Just a good down to run it.
And they flip it to Russell around the right side. Gets ahead of steam. He's got the 1st down. Down around the 26-yard. Well, look at this spot. Man, they might have spotted him short.
There's no way.
He was down almost to the 25-yard line, I thought.
Nope, they say he's a half a yard short.
All right. Is there a flag down across the way there? Yep. Didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage there, so that's a damaging call. So it makes it 2nd down and 9. Well, little nicks and cuts. Those are what those little penalties feel like. So now it's 2nd down and 9 from the 36-yard line. Didn't see the flag initially. It was laying down across the way.
That's the guy that's got the Permian Basin coaches in his ear.
Now they'll change the play calls. Larson, you could hear him clapping his hands here. Now they change the play call, change the blocking assignments. Straight drop back, late pressure. Get the pass away down the middle, incomplete.
Where's that flag there?
He reached for it and didn't throw it. And the fans know it. They saw him reach for it, and then he decided not to throw it. And Nigel Mitchell is beside himself. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I think that they might have talked their way out of some calls now. Chirping.
Oh, my goodness.
And if these are RMAC officials, the other team's not from the RMAC.
3rd down and 9. Great drop back over the middle. Caught by Retzlaff for the first down inside the 20 down to the 17. When you need a big play, that's who you go to for the Thunderwolves.
Look at number 1.
And it's 1st and 10, Thunderwolves at the 19-yard line. Retzlaff will come out of the game now. They'll bring in the heavy package. They bring in a couple extra tight ends, do the pack here.
3 tight ends now.
As Seth Bozzi checks in along with the big fella, Curtis Luckadoo.
And Dvorak. 3 tight ends.
Yeah, they're heavy on the right side here, aren't they? Unbalanced.
That means look for Taylor Toscas.
Toscas is wide to the left. Single coverage there. Press coverage. Fake it. Wide or tight end screen on the right side. Look at a good head of steam down to the 11-yard line. I love it when Tyler Dvorak is on the edge running the ball.
And, these teammates love this guy. They love this guy.
They mark it back at the 12, so it'll be 2nd down and 3.
A tight end coached up in high school by Dave Logan.
Dave Logan, yes.
A tight end.
Clock down to 10:15 to go here. Thunderwolves lead at 29-16. Larson barking out the signals, adjusts his formation. Now looks over the middle. Caught, 1st down. Retzlaff to the 5, hauled down there, but it's a 1st and goal for the Thunderwolves.
This is a Reggie Retzlaff drive.
Well, you notice the philosophy change here for the Thunderwolves, too. They're not taking all the shots down the field. They're taking the underneath stuff here.
Exactly.
Mark it at the 4, 1st and goal for the Thunderwolves. We're under 10 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Trips to the left as Retzlaff, Rakowski, and Toscas all to the left side. Russell the lone back. Fake the handoff to him. Jump pass over the middle. Jump pass incomplete. They tried to get it there to Dvorak, and it was just a little too tall. He tried to one-hand it and haul it in.
Devin Larson had more time than he thought.
That looked much like the old Tim Tebow play. You just kind of run it into the line and then just jump up when you see your tight end break open. Tried to flip it to him. Pass a little too tall. Well, you hope that doesn't come back to haunt him. So now it's 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Toscas wide to the right here. All 3 tight ends now move out to the left side here. And now running with it, pass to the goal line, broken up. Tried to get it to Toscas. They had all 3 tight ends lined up out to the left side. They wanted to go that way, but they smelled that play out. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 4.
Almost feels like they're trying to be too cute. Granted, the last play was open, just missed it.
Now the tight ends come out of the game, all 3 of them. They bring the wide receiver crew in. Is Nigel Mitchell out there with the Rakowski and Toscas wide to the left. You got Retzlaff to the right. Retzlaff, the touchdown maker here. How about a quick slant here? Straight drop back. Back of the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Toscas. Throw it up and let the big fella go get it.
And Devin Larson locked in on him and just waited for him to get open. He needed a half a second, and he got it.
Taylor Toscas, a senior out of Temecula, California, went up to the summit, hauled it in. Now the Thunderwolves going to go with a wild formation here. They snap it to the left side to Lucky, who puts his head down. 2-point conversion's good. So Thunderwolves back on schedule a bit. That makes up for one of the botched extra points. Just a little side hike snap.
We love the side
to Lucky Doo, and Lucky Doo just rams it in there.
Love the side hike.
So it's 37-16.
Feels like you can breathe now a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Now you've got your
Pueblo,
restored order.
It just feels like you can. And again, credit the defense for being as stingy as they've been.
So 37-16, Thunderwolves with 9:16 to go here in the 4th quarter. that was a huge drive. And they overcame some adversity. Remember, they had a 2nd and 12 situation that they overcame. A lot of big plays in that drive and really featured the great work of Reggie Retzlaff. Here's the kick. It's taken at the 2, fumbled, picked up at the 6, and the pursuit is there, hauling him down at the 14-yard line, and that is Gunnar Asbeck. So that's where the Falcons will take over. 1st and 10, down 21 now. Now the umpire tax takes it back, or it's the center judge tax. He takes it back to the 13.
That makes up for everything tonight. That yard.
So they'll start from the 13.
And I've been impressed with Permian's Dylan Graham. I think he's a good player. I think he's a good football player. I don't think he's getting as much help as he thought he'd get tonight.
Brock Johnson, the tight end, shifts to the right side. They run the reverse, hand it back to the quarterback. Now they're going to go for it down the middle, and a great grab out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. And I think this wide receiver's injured here, perhaps after making the grab. Deion Cook, he's in the push-up formation, and now they stop the clock because I think he landed on the ball, Joe. Might have knocked the air out of him a little bit.
Well, and Noah Purcell and John Nussi are saying that ball hit the ground. Well, it might have on his gut hit the ground.
I don't see a Thunderwolves challenge flag thrown here.
I think that.
Although I thought for a minute Phil Vigil might have been reaching for it, but that was his Gatorade cup. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons. 8:58 to go here in the 4th quarter. Little midnight Eastern time zone madness here from the Thunderbolt. We're after 10 o'clock.
We got people listening in Nashville.
Yeah, exactly. Although that's Central time zone.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it's got to be. Here comes blitz off the edge. He's hit. Throws it up for grabs. Out of bounds. Incomplete. Self-preservation throw there, although he did pay the price.
You know who's coming.
The quarterback is hit on the play.
Daniel Bone.
Also looked like Gage Hill out there also get on the play. He's a guy we don't talk about a lot, but he's a specimen. 6'6", 6'5", 300-pound senior out of Altoona, California. 2nd down and 10 from the 38-yard line. Pass out in the flat, caught by Cooley, and he skips through one tackle and then is forced out of bounds and then hauled down, flagged down. Oh, come on. It's not an egregious tackle. They're just kind of falling over themselves over here on the sideline when you got a hold of the big fella. Now that's what Phil Vigil is just kind of questioning the logic of some of these calls.
Jim, they have to have close to 200 yards in penalties.
Personal foul, laid out of bounds by the defense.
And the fans that are here are just letting this crew know about it.
They have to have close to 200 yards in penalties. The stats we've received so far are not really usable, so I can't go off of that. I'm guessing 200 yards in penalties.
So it's 1st and 10 now from the 43-yard line for the Falcons. Down 37-16, pressure off the edge. They get home, but not quite in time. But they're able to force an errant throw there. Cody Ramming being held coming off the edge, too, and he just kind of looks over the sideline and says, you know what, this is ridiculous. Second down and 10 from the Thunderwolves 43-yard line. 8:21 to go here in the fourth quarter. Thunderwolves lead at 37-16. Going to hand it off the right side. Good burst. Gain of about 6, maybe 7 yards. This is Camden Tyler, part of the 1-2 punch in the backfield for the Falcons. They'll give him 7. It'll be 3rd down and 3 from the 36-yard line of the Thunderwolves. Clock rolls. We're down to 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Thunderwolves lead at 37-16. Hand it up the middle. First down run. Again for Camden Tyler. Looks like the Thunderwolves were almost in there. They weren't up trying to stop that run. There's almost, you know what, if you want to run for 3 or 4 yards, get the first down, we're going to give it to you. We're not going to give up a big shot here.
No, and again, they're having success in the middle of the field. Send it. Good pressure there.
Pass is up and broken up.
That's great defense. That is great defense. But now he's chirping.
Yep, Jeremiah Cooley, the intended receiver.
He's chirping
there.
Again. He's chirping at their bench. He's going to get. Keith, and you know we love Keith McCaney. He's like, keep throwing at me. I'll get another one and take it to the house.
That was the ultimate jump ball there. They were just trying to throw it up for grabs and hoping Cooley could come down with it. Second down and 10 from the 32. Give it around the right side. This is Harris. Turns the corner. He's got the first down. Cuts inside the 15, inside the 10 before he's run out of bounds. Good run there by Corey Harris.
How about the burst of speed by Harris there?
Yeah, he showed me something there down to the 8-yard line where it'll be first down and goal.
The stadium's asleep, and he just burst through it like it was nothing.
So the ball's placed in play. The clock should be rolling here. And instead, they aren't running the clock. Now they wind. It's almost like they're giving him an extra few seconds here.
You're going to have to talk to Ben and have him get on the
well, I need to know. That's the way things are supposed to be now. They're supposed to be sped up. Here's a jump ball, right side, incomplete. Again, trying to throw the jump ball to Jeremiah Cooley. Keith McCaney over there locked up with him. Cooley jawing at the bench. And now the flag comes down because he's jawing at the bench of Permian Basin. He's going to get a personal foul call here, Joe. You said he's been doing it quite a bit, and he finally got ticketed for it. So that gives them a first and goal on the automatic first down on the personal foul. So first and goal from the 3.
And he's catching an earful from Phil Vigil.
So now they'll go trips to the left here. Ball's on the right hash mark. Going to roll the pocket left. Set. Here comes late pressure. Almost had him. Gets away. Pass to the back of the end zone. Flag down. Going to get another interference call here on the Thunderwolves, or defensive holding, and one or the other here.
Well, it's only a 2-yard penalty, but it's just another down.
Well, this being a flag in the end zone, yes, you're right, Joe. So I think they'll mark it probably at, well, they might mark it at the 2. I'm not sure. I don't know if they can mark it all the way down to the 1. Yeah, they mark it at the 2.
Eli Pittman on the.
See, that's one of the differences in the pro rules. They'd mark it at the 1, but in college they mark it at the 2. So first and goal from the 2 now. Hand it up the middle, diving for the goal line. I don't know if he got in less second effort. Nope, he's down at the 1. He got hit right at the line of scrimmage, tried to fall forward, but the pack hold him out. So that just allows more time to run off the clock here. Down to 6:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's 37-16. Thunderwolves lead it by 21, but knocking on the door of the Falcons here. Second down and goal. And again, they run up. They don't want the Thunderwolves stop it. They snuff him off the edge that time.
These numbers are scrunched tonight.
I think that was Larson.
No, Devin Larson's a quarterback.
Yeah, it's Thomas Webb.
It's Thomas Webb.
Sorry, yes.
That's one of the double
The
numbers.
stupid double numbers thing you're driving nuts.
Now, if your quarterback can make that play.
Yeah, that would be a great play, wouldn't it? So now it's 3rd and goal from the 1. They're going to roll it right to the goal line. Hit. Stopped.
Short.
His knee was down outside the goal line. As trying to dive in there was Dylan Graham, and the defense comes up with the stop. It's going to set up 4th down and goal now from a foot away. Line judge was emphatic. He came in and spotted it outside the goal line.
Now, Daniel Bone is not in on this package, which surprises me.
4th and goal. Give it up the middle, and he stopped initially. He tries to fall forward.
He's
I don't think
short.
he got
He did
in.
not get
Flag now comes down. Oh, my God. What are they going to call now? This is ridiculous.
Unless it's a hold.
Helmet came off of one of the Falcons. Maybe his helmet got ripped off there in the scrum. Thunderwolves stopped him short of the goal line, but I'm afraid they're going to get a personal foul call here, which is going to result in an automatic 1st down. Thunderwolves, though, don't seem to think so. They're holding their fists up like they made the stop here. Still no preliminary signal. Officials confabbing right outside the goal line. Now they step back, trying to make the call here. First down for the Falcons after they sort all that out. Both of them personal fouls against the Thunderwolves. Oh, man, oh, man.
Well,
words cannot
no,
describe.
but you can say what you want, but CSU Pueblo has to be a lot more disciplined.
Here's the handoff up the middle, diving, touchdown.
You know, you have 15 chances inside the 5, you're going to score. But that's on CSU Pueblo to be a little bit more disciplined, Jim.
I'm wondering what the initial personal foul. What the one of the players came out.
And I don't.
He came out of the pile without his helmet. I don't know if they ripped his helmet off, but the flags came out almost instantaneously with him being stopped, which was weird. The second one that came out, I can see why that was, because the Thunderwolves were celebrating. But to me, that should have been a dead ball foul, which would have been all right. The Thunderwolves would have got control of the football. But the live action call, I have no idea about there and how it could happen that quick on the interior of the line. But the extra point is good. All that did, though, was cause about another 2 minutes to run off the clock. All that extra time that it took Permian Basin to get into the end zone. So now we're down to 5:07 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's now 37-23 in favor of the Thunderwolves. Going to be a lot to look at for the Thunderwolves and a lot to discuss on the Pack Football Show on Wednesday. It'll be interesting to get Phil Vihill's take on all of these penalties and if it's a discipline problem or if it's just
the only
emotion problem. What is the problem? He's chatting it out here with the field judge down there on the sideline. I'm sure Phil's saying, how many consecutive calls can you make against us?
Well, and I think this resignation to, Keith McCaney, who I wanted to talk to after the game, we may not do a post-game show, but he cost them. The drive was stopped, and he wouldn't not talk to the bench. You just can't do it. You can talk to your own players and get fired up, but you cannot talk to the opposition. And you have to be a little bit more disciplined.
So 5:07 to go here.
We need to call up live stats and see what I guarantee you it's 200 yards. And now they're just looking for it if you're the officials. You know, you're looking for things to just keep calling them. Onside kick attempt here.
Here's the kick, and it's loose. It goes out of bounds. Thunderbolts player was lit up. Now the flag comes down from the field judge on this side.
That might be illegal touching, though, too.
There was quite a collision there. Field judge came over from the Thunderwolves bench and ran to the middle of the field, threw a flag. What he could see from this far away, it lends you to believe it might have been an alignment issue or illegal formation or something. I don't know how he could interpret what happened in the stack. We've just had so many calls from officials in this game from a million miles away in relation to where the field is.
He's beside himself. He's like, what now?
Fans are beside themselves. Okay, there is an illegal formation. There is no foul for an illegal block. They're saying when the Permian Basin guy came flying down and nailed one of the Thunderwolves before the ball made it 10 yards.
Yeah.
That's what Phil Vigil was upset about. They didn't get that call.
Because you can't block.
You can't block before the ball goes
10 yards.
Yeah, that's what I've been schooled to believe.
But the Thunderbolts will take the ball at Permian Basin's 42 with 5 minutes to go on a 2-touchdown lead. They'll take that.
All right. Thunderwolves 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Give it to Russell. Tries to get to the corner. Turns the corner. 40, 35. Cuts back inside. Hauled down at the 34. He gains 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Thunderwolves tonight, 20 penalties, 165 yards.
That might be light.
Permian Basin, 4 penalties, 45 yards.
They got 60 yards of penalties on one drive alone.
2nd down and 2.
They're taking their time with the clock now this time.
And we're down to 4:30 to go. Thunderwolves lead at 37-23 here in the 4th quarter. And they hand it up the middle to Russell. Flags down. Before the play could get off, do we have a false start? Nope. Timeout by the Thunderwolves.
The play clock was down to 0 before the ball snapped. So that was a good play. That was a good timeout. You know, sometimes when you try and milk the clock, you milk it too much.
Phil Vigil now in a conversation with the White Hat here. I'm sure he's wanting to go back to a lot of the different things that have happened in this game. It's going to be a busy, you know, they give the players 24 hours or whatever to celebrate. The coaches, they don't get that benefit. They'll be dissecting this, trying to see exactly what all of these calls were against them and whether they have to, you know, do some discipline. Then the ultimate call in this game was really one of the bogus calls. That was the targeting call on Seidenberger from the back judge who was 30 yards away from the play.
That's the only call that Phil Vigil's worried about.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of it sucks, and you got to deal with it. But, you know, Seidenberger got ejected last year on kind of a bogus call in the South Dakota Mines.
Yes, for playing football. You know, it's just, you know, they're trying to just legislate football out of football.
Well, Jaden Jones went back in the game, though, so it was good to see a little bit. Now he just came out. Maybe he just went in for the huddle, but he has not played in the second half.
2nd down and 2 from the 34-yard line for the Thunderwolves of the Falcons. Leading the game 37-23. Trying to run this clock out here. Give it to Russell, right side, cuts inside. He's got the first down inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Good hard run there by Russell.
He was a step away from going to the house.
Russell now closing in on 90 yards on the night. Has that 51-yard scintillating touchdown run, a highlight reel run earlier in the game. Yeah, he updated now. 13 carries for 91 yards tonight for Russell. Retzlaff, 7 catches, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Pack. Tuscus with 3 for 41 on a touchdown. 1st and 10, Thunderwolves, 28-yard line of the Falcons. Again, give it to Russell up the middle. He's got an opening, breaks a tackle inside the 20, puts his head down. He's got the first down. He's inside the 15, all the way down to the 13-yard line.
Solid.
That puts you over the century mark.
Yeah.
Joe Cervi going to make his way down to the field. We'll have an abbreviated post-game show here tonight. But we will have our interview with Phil Vigil. Plus star of the game interview as well. Here is Russell trying to turn the corner, cuts back inside, gets down to the 11-yard line. A long way to run for a yard there. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Clock down to 2:22 to go here. Fourth quarter, Thunderwolves lead at 37-23. We're down to 2:10 to go here. We're going to take it down to the 2-minute timeout. Aaron, if you've got one in the thing, go ahead and fire it because it's been a long night. I have to go do something. Timeout on the field, 37-23, Thunderwolves on Fox Sports Pueblo.
You are listening to CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the Pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
Here's the handoff up the middle to Russell. He's inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. That was like a NASCAR splash and go pit stop there. Heavy emphasis on splash. As I needed a little break, folks, and I got it. And so we're back to being able to function again here. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it, and I just took that opportunity. So you can all relate to being the last time I left the booth was at, 5:30? So I actually made it 5 hours and 14 minutes, even after consuming 2 Pepsi-Colas. So I'm really quite proud of my discipline there to hold off that long, but it was obvious I wasn't going to make it any longer. So we took that opportunity. Maybe too much information for you, but I'm a bit delirious. Thunderwolves lead at 37-23 here. 1:54 to go. Ball is at the 8-yard line. It'll be 3rd down now and 5 for the Thunderwolves. Long count. Fake it. Lob it. End zone. Retzlaff incomplete. Didn't quite get enough altitude on that pass there. Needed to go a little bit higher in the air there. Thunderwolves will send the field goal unit out here. Kicking game has been an adventure this year for the Thunderwolves. That's something they got to shore up here as the season goes along.
Back set up for a field goal brought to you by CCOM.
So it will be a 26-yard attempt here by Evan Lyons. Ball's down, kick is up, and it is right through there and good.
The kick is
So
good.
Thunderwolves with their highest scoring output of the year. They were there at 37. They just increase on it. They're up to 40 now. 40-23 is our score with 1:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. I think we're going to, I'm not sure what highlights we have for our post-game show. We had a little issue early on. I tried to send a couple of files to Aaron. I don't know how many he was able to rescue, so we'll have to see. He'll have to text me what he does have as far as highlights. Either that or we can just bag them, do our interviews, and get the heck up on out of here, and then I'll post them later when I go through the show and do them tomorrow at some point. But 40-23 right now. Thunderwolves on top. Again, thanking Aaron Kinnischtzke, our producer and engineer tonight. Working overtime. Appreciate all of his hard work. Ben Greenberg, Sports Information Director at CSU Pueblo. Also, Paul Plinsky, the Athletic Director. And special thanks to Armando Valdez. Well, I'll cut that interview up. Posted. I didn't catch the first minute or so of it, but we got the rest of it. Since we were busy devoting our audio files trying to rescue some highlights, I didn't get the interview started with Armando Valdez on time, but we got most of it. He was in the booth with us for about 15 minutes, so you get to hear 14 minutes of that. Okay, I guess we do have 6 highlights to bring you. That's good. One of them's one of Retzlaff's touchdowns, also a Russell touchdown, and then Tuska's touchdown. So that's enough to play in the highlights. Good job, Aaron.
Let's go, defense!
So 1st and 10 for the Falcons from their own 25-yard line. And flag down. Could be delay a game here. Yes. Delay a game on the Falcons. So usually they give you that little bit of wiggle room when the clock hits 0 on the play clock. Well, they went wiggle room plus a little bit more there before they blew it.
Let's go, defense!
Now the Falcons come up to the line of scrimmage. They hand it up the middle. Yeah, decent run there by Tyler before he's taken down at the 25-yard line. Gets the penalty yardage back, so it'll be 2nd down and 10.
5 on the play brings up 2nd down.
And he comes up a little worse for the wear, does Cameron Tyler. That's quite a, or not Cameron, Camden Tyler. It was quite a collision he had there. He comes out of the ball game. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 now for the Falcons from their own 25. Let's see if they just run it again. They might be just running it to get the heck out of here. They hand it up the middle. This is a chance to give a different running back a little time here. As Tyler Cleveland, the ball carrier. He is out of Round Rock, Texas. He's a senior. Down to 50 seconds to go.
Tyler carries for 5. 3rd down.
So we are out of commercial break. So, Aaron, I guess we'll just go right to the postgame show from here. So as soon as Joe gets somebody down there, no use wasting a timeout or two. I don't know what you got loaded up, but I'm all right. I'm ready to go. So we'll just keep it here and do the interviews and do the highlights, some quick stats, get out of here. Here's the handoff. This will be the last play of the game. Well, he gets the 1st down. That'll stop the clock momentarily. He gets out to the 39-yard line. Another run there for Tyler Cleveland. So it's 1st and 10. Clock stops momentarily. It was 17 seconds ago. I guess they could run one more here if they want to try it. Clock's rolling. Down to 10 up. Looks like that's it. Yep, they're going to start the handshakes. So that will indeed end the ball game. Took a long time to get here. Over 4 hours and 50 minutes, to be exact. But the game is finally in the booth. or books, and the Thunderwolves win it 40-23. Welcome to the Thunderwolves post-game show. Joe Cervi down on the field. We'll go ahead and he's got his mic on, so we're good. So he'll be able to get our post-game interviews here. So Thunderwolves win it 40-23. And Joe Cervi down on the field just gave him the thumbs up. So whenever he gets our guests over there, he can go ahead and start. Better pot him down here in case something happens before that. But Phil Vigil is making his way over. Thunderwolves head coach. So we'll see what all he has to say here. And without further ado, let's go down to the field and Joe Cervi.
All right, down here with head coach Phil Vigil. It's just a different kind of game, lots involved, but a ranked team, a good team, a playoff team from last year, and just a great win considering everything that happened.
Yes, dang it.
We've had a lot of verse through fall camp, and let's just keep back.
Yeah, we got to get him closer here, folks. Apologize. We're not able to get Phil Vigil at the moment here.
All week long.
Just a little bit about the delay and how your team handled it, what you did during that time, and then when you came out of that, it couldn't have been a better effort for your guys coming out of that delay.
And I mean, you're looking at.
Yeah. It's a situation with our wireless mic here.
Guys were inside their snacks, and they were.
It's kind of Groundhog Day in that second half. That seemed like all the play was in that same down and distance, and your defense kept coming up.
Yeah.
Scored for us tonight. Takeaways. They got up to the quarterback all night, which was huge for us. They did football.
All right, go and enjoy this win. You got a big one next week.
Yes, sir. We'll enjoy this one, and then it's on to Grand Valley tomorrow.
All right, Jim. I'm going to bring in Howard Russell. He's a good friend of ours from the radio show. 100+ yards, a great touchdown. Tell us about the offense tonight.
Oh man, tonight we came out and just did what we've done already. Like Coach said, we put the work in all week, man. It's just what we do. Come out. The plays we made tonight are the plays we made 100 times this week in practice. Just repetition, getting the muscle memory in, and just doing what we do.
Were you just waiting to run the ball finally?
Of course. To be honest, since last week. Last week I came out. I think as a team we only had about 70 rushing yards, knowing that South Dakota stacked the box 8 deep. But this week we knew it was a 3-down front with one backer. We were ready. Piss was hot. That's how we like to say it. Our piss was hot.
A great win against a quality opponent.
Absolutely. Made a statement tonight.
All right.
The pack is back, baby. The pack is back.
Go and enjoy it with your team. Jim, back upstairs.
All right. Well, we got Joe to move in a little bit closer. I kept waving him, trying to get him to come even closer, but at least we got the Howard Russell interview there. Apologize for not being able to get all the remarks of Phil Vigil, but I was waving. I was like a bird up here trying to get into the air. I just got to get that 5 feet closer to me, but that's all right. So, all right, let's take a look at our highlight package here as we get my box score in here and see exactly what we do have. And I have to, you know what I have to do? I have to save the photo. I have to work a little bit on the fly here. So bear with me here. So Thunderwolves actually fell behind early on the first play from scrimmage of the game by Permian Basin. They hit a little reverse toss back to the quarterback, and down the field she went, and it was one play, and it was a touchdown for Permian Basin. They led it 7-0. Thunderwolves bounced right back. Retzlaff with the touchdown grab from Larson. It was on the next play from scrimmage. It went the distance. Extra point, though, was blocked. Permian Basin picked it up and ran it back the entire length of the field for the 2-point conversion. They led it 9-6. Then the Thunderwolves able to strike back with their touchdown maker. Straight drop back. Here comes the pressure out the edge. They flush him. Pass down the sideline. Intercepted at the 40. 45. I had that out of order. I apologize. I didn't have the. Let's set that up again here, shall we? I apologize. This is the Thunderwolves interception. Let's do it justice here. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, hurtling his way inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line for the Thunderwolves. It's Peyton Shaw. That's what happens when you don't have the photo rolled all the way up there. But that was Peyton Shaw getting the interception. That sets up the touchdown maker. Same formation here. Make it to Russell, straight drop back. Oh, right down the middle. He's open, in the clear. Got it, touchdown! It's the touchdown maker, Reggie Retzlaff. Just a post pattern right down the middle, and he hit him in stride. The Thunderwolves take the lead.
He has an uncanny knack for just shake and bake and getting open.
And the extra point this time was good, made it 13-9. Then the Thunderwolves came up with a huge play on defense. 2 on the play. He caught a 35-yarder in last week's game against Western New Mexico. They play action, throw right side, intercepted! It's going to the house!
Our man, Keith McCaney.
10-5, touchdown, Thunderwolves! What a play by Keith McCaney. Joey got his opportunity, and he made the most of it.
Again, not a challenge, an opportunity.
And, of course, we had McCaney on earlier this week in the Pack football show on Wednesday night. And I talked about the challenge he faced coming in tonight. He goes, I don't see it as a challenge. I just see it as an opportunity. And that's the reason we said he took that opportunity and scored the touchdown there. Then one of the greatest runs in Thunderwolves history. Toscas is wide to left, Rakowski in the slot to left. They give it to Russell up the middle, bounces it outside, across the 45-40, up the sideline, 35-30, 25, cuts back inside, 15, 10, 5, to the goal line, touchdown! What a run by Howard Russell.
The dancing machine. High stepping, low stepping, side stepping, touchdown!
And it was just a scintillating run there by Russell. Permian Basin, they tried to make a game of it. Their defense came up big late in the first half. Pressure up the middle. Late pressure. Pass away, intercepted. 30-yard line, 25. Just a bad decision there by Devin Larson. Threw it right into the hands of the linebacker. Cameron Lee, or free safety. And so now the Falcons will take over. Here's that mistake you worried about for the Thunderwolves playing in their end of the field.
Well, he's trying to throw it away, and he threw.
And the Thunderwolves eventually had a roughing the passer penalty. They had an interference call. It ended up setting up Permian Basin at the 12-yard line, and that's when the lightning hit and the storm forced the delay in this game of over an hour and a half before play resumed. Thunderwolves were able to make the stop, and but just it's like Joe mentioned, it's like Groundhog Day. The play just stayed down there at complete end of the field even after the play resumed. They would eventually score, but then the Thunderwolves would come back and put it away. How about a quick slant here? Straight drop back. Back of the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Toscas. Throw it up and let the big fella go get it.
And Devin Larson locked in on him and just waited for him to get open. He needed a half a second, and he got it.
And indeed it was. And that put the game away for the Thunderwolves as they end up winning the game 40-23. Got a field goal late. Actually, Permian Basin able to get a score, kind of a cosmetic score. Then the Thunderwolves getting a field goal to make it 40-23, the final score. Well, Joe, looking at this ball game, it took forever for us to get there. It's a great win for the Thunderwolves against a ranked opponent. It's been a while since they've put away a ranked opponent like that, and it's good to see the Thunderwolves getting back to where they rightfully belong, I guess you'd say. But even in that, there's a lot of things to fix, isn't there? Oops, I'm going to get you up there.
No, you're good. It was a 40-23 win, 17 points. On if you saw that score, you go, oh yeah, they had them. It was a very ugly win in terms of the weather, in terms of the delays, in terms of the penalties, in terms of just not being crisp. But what you also got is a team. You just beat a team that was a playoff team from a year ago that's ranked in the top 15. That's a solid football team. Is going to win a lot of games and may win the Lone Star Conference again. This win is going to look a lot better tomorrow, and it's going to look a lot better at the end of the season. But I'll tell you right now, that was a quality win against a very good opponent.
And just a lot of things to look at, though, for the Thunderwolves as well. The good news, like we talked a little bit about the bad news, the penalty yardage ended up being, 160?
Well, they said 160 plus, but the stats were wrong. And I talking to Ben Greenberg on the way back up here. He says they're going to have to go through them all and redo them because they're just not right.
Yeah, 20 for 164 is what they have down there. We knew, we were guessing around 200. Got to figure out the ones maybe they declined. It might have been that. But then just the offense unable to maybe in certain respects put them away. But you have to remember that's a pretty good outfit out there.
Yeah, again, defensively, the Falcons Permian Basin's a good football team. I think sometimes CSU Pueblo, because they have such a young, excitable, creative brain trust when it comes to play calling or whatever, they don't mind taking shots. They don't mind failure. They don't mind. But when you don't run any clock doing that, I think CSU Pueblo's defense was on the field way too long tonight. And did they respond? Absolutely. A cosmetic touchdown late, but the finish of the first half, the start of the second half, you couldn't ask for better. And that's where the game was won, in my opinion.
Well, decent night for the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference when you look at their matchups, and you go back even to Thursday against the Lone Star. Western Colorado defeated Midwestern State. Hell of a game there tonight in Gunnison, 38-33. The final there, Western wins it. Adams State, though, did drop one to Western New Mexico, 39-30. Now back, of course, Thunderwolves winning here Thursday night. Mines defeated West Texas A&M, 41-13.
Yeah, it was
if I remember right.
Quality win.
Black Hill State did get a win today over Southwest Baptist, 24-14. Those are your other scores.
And South Dakota Mines lost on Thursday night.
52-50, I think. Yeah. That was a crazy game there. Let's see if we got anything else that we want to talk about in the top 25 today. See some of the late games coming in here. There was that late game was the Western Colorado game, basically. Pitt State defeated Missouri Southern a night game. Fort Hays State defeated Missouri Western. Thought that might be a chance for an upset tonight, but they win 30-16. Valdosta State held off Newberry 27-14. And get this, Minnesota State, they get a late field goal. They were behind late to Bemidji State, 29-28. They get a late field goal, and they win it 31-29. A game played in Mankato tonight, so a tough loss for Bemidji. Man, that's a big game early in the year. You need that game, really, when you look at the way the playoffs and everything shake out.
Minnesota State's played two big games now.
They have.
And I always talk to Riston. I used to tell him, man, I don't want to go to Mankato. And he goes, I do. Because if we're going to Mankato, that means we're in.
That means we're playing a big game in November and December. Exactly right. Ferris State, they defeat Lake Erie tonight, 56-3. Going through here, that's about it. That's about all I got. The other game of note tonight was Nebraska defeating Colorado 28-10. Big upset today was Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois 16-14 on the last-minute field goal. The Irish actually had a chance at a 61-yarder on the last play of the game, had it blocked. Which
don't forget my Rammies.
And the Rams win today. Nice job, Joe. Who'd they beat?
Northern Colorado.
Oh,
hey, don't laugh.
Does that count?
It does. If CU is going to count North Dakota State, Colorado State's going to count Northern Colorado.
I just wanted to see your reaction.
It's been a long day. It's been a long night. It's midnight.
All right,
it's tomorrow.
It is 11:05. That might be the latest we've ever been on the air here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Well, special people to thank is Fox Sports Pueblo's own Aaron Kinnischtzke, our producer and engineer tonight of Thunderwolves football. Special thanks to Ben Greenberg as well, sports information director. How about Paul Plinsky, the athletic director, and our man Armando Valdez, the president. We thank him for stepping in. I'll cut up that interview. We'll have that posted tomorrow for you. We missed about the first 30 seconds of it, but we got the rest of it, and it's just a great talk with him. He's a very inspiring figure to be leading CSU Pueblo. I think they're in good hands for that. All right, that's going to about do it. My partner is Joe Cervi. My name is Jim Brooks, reminding you the final score here tonight, 40-23. We do remind you, join us Wednesday from Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House for the Pack Football Show. Phil Vigil and a couple of guests will join us. That'll be at 6 o'clock. 6 to 7 right here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Next Thunderwolves football action will be a week from tonight. 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock kickoff. Grand Valley State, the mighty Lakers come into town. Can the Thunderwolves finally turn the trick and knock off the mighty Lakers? We'll find out next week. Should be a nice night of football here. Hopefully the weather holds off for next week's ball game, and we don't have to sit here for 5 hours. We thank you, the listener, as well, for hanging with us the entire night. It was a long broadcast. We thank all of you contributors sending us questions and helping us fill that hour and a half or so. But that's going to do it. Thunderwolves win it 40-23. For Aaron Kinnischtzke, for Joe Cervi, my name is Jim Brooks. Good night, everybody.